Oh. That's the Halo theme, right? Kind of. That's kind of right, a little bit. I'm not really a huge Halo fan, but I think everyone's heard that song, right? You sound like a whale. Well, so did the song. Super accurate, well done. Thank you. How y'all doing? About how she scared the shit out of me. My true objective realized. Folks, I've got good news. I have overcome death. And by death I mean a headache. I have a headache right now. I am basically I'm like the Resident Evil villains, okay? I just am not I'm trudging. You'd think, how much pain can he take before he can't stream anymore? And I just keep trudging through, okay? You can't see it because the pain's internal, but I've basically got a big old hole in my chest, all right? Right here in the center, okay? But I'm gonna continuing to stream. Whew. I hope the headache goes away, though, because it's actually quite distracting. Wrinkled shirt. Yeah, my clothes basically never make it. Hold on, wait. We have an excellent chat message. I don't know if you still think I'm a pedo for wanting to wear a collar and cat ears to Pride, but fine. I have never believed that. You can wear a collar and cat ears to Pride if you want. You can do that. We're not taking that bait. Which RE8 boss was your favorite? I mean Heisenberg, where you're like dealing with a metal maelstrom while riding a tank, and then you go up to the top and grab the tank and fire the tank. I mean, oh god, the spectacle. Um, how's everyone doing? We got a lot to talk about. Hopefully we're able to talk about all of it before I succumb to the headache. I'm only halfway through the Krystal and Kyle podcast. Where you go away for another hour. Oh, we'll be spoiling that, by the way. Dumb things think you were a pussy for not tearing into Krystal after badmouthing her for years. Please consider elaborating how wrong they are. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That was the follow-up that I wanted to do because I think this is really, really interesting, rhetorically speaking. Um, Gonna talk about Belarus? You know what? I was going to, but now because of you, I'm not going to. Congratulations, buddy. You annoyed me. Wow. Wow. Nice. Thanks, dude. Where can I watch slash listen to the convo? I think it's up on the Spotify now, right? It should be up. They have the Spotify, right? I'll wait for it. Yeah, I think that's where it is now. The full thing with the video is on their Substack, which you have to pay to get access to, and the free version is audio only on their Apple Podcast and Spotify, I think. Apple Podcast. And if you watch the audio only version, you don't get to see the anime T-shirt that I wore while talking to the man and the woman in business attire sitting in an office studio. So yeah, they put out a clip so you can go see the you know, the excellent anime shirt that I wore. You had your like Hawaiian shirt over it? No, that was the anime shirt. The Hawaiian shirt was the anime shirt. If you button it up, it's two halves of an anime girl's face in a forest. Unified. Um it's a nice shirt. So how y'all doing? Before we get into that, sorry, I'm gonna be on like we're operating on 80% right now. Okay? Why did you end the Rising show? Yeah, the day I criticized Rising was the day they shut down Rising. Curious. I'm like Jon Stewart with Crossfire. I'm surprised we didn't get to see you in a blazer and a tie again. Yeah, actually, I actually did want to dress up a little bit more, but I had the worst night of sleep in a long time that day. I was a little bit nervous because, they're very large public figures, and I just could not sleep. I went to bed the night before at midnight. That is very early for me, okay? But I got woken up multiple times throughout the night. Car alarms and cats and etc. and etc. I woke up so exhausted, I could barely made it out with enough time to dress up proper. I just put on, yeah, yeah, because you went to bed later than me. Yeah. You have cats? They're frequently featured on the channel. Uh, anyway, y'all want to talk about it? The podcast, I mean. hog. So I recently had the opportunity to go on it's the Krystal Kyle and Friends podcast, right? That's the total thing, right? And I'm actually super happy with how it went. Conversationally, it was about 90 minutes. It was an interview format. They asked questions of me, and yeah, that makes me the friend. Actually, they asked questions of me, and the questions were I mean, they ranged I mean, they were like the kind of questions you would expect, I imagine. How'd you get your start? How are you here? What do you like to do? What are your political positions? And then the stuff we tended to disagree a little bit more on. Bernie or bust, force the vote, my positions on rising, like that kind of stuff. Anyway, I think it went really well. The thing that I'm happiest about is that I think I was able to really convincingly deliver all the affirmative positions I have on some really important issues related to like the Nazbol vortex type thing. So the positions that I tried to hit on really, really hard were the idea that right populism is a sham, that it has no institutional support, and even when like non politicians push it, it's like this was the line I think I used. It's like you can talk with a right populist and agree for 40 minutes on everything. Oh yeah, the government doesn't represent the interests of the people. Oh yeah, our democracy is flawed. Oh yeah, corporations are autocratic and they strip democracy from our system, et cetera, et cetera. And then like you'll be 40 minutes in and you'll be like, oh wow, this guy agrees with me on a lot. And then you'll mention Black Lives Matter and they'll be like, oh yeah, we need to roll in the National Guard to deal with those degenerates. Those rioters can't be allowed to continue burning down our cities. And you're like, whoa! Whoa there. And it's like they have all of these convictions that seem like they overlap with ours, with left populists. But then the moment a culture war issue comes up, they drop everything and they run to like the farthest right. And the funny thing is, I think Kyle actually directly agreed with me on that. Like said he'd noticed that as well, which I appreciated the injunction from him. Because that's a problem that I have. I don't think that right populism is like a real political movement in this country. I think, and I drew the historical allegory as well. The most effective right populists in history were the neo-Nazis. Sorry, I keep saying neo-Nazis reflexively. The real Nazis, not neo-Nazis, the original ones. Because if you take a look at the rhetorical strategies of the Nazi Party before they came to power, they were like super pro-worker. If you take a look at all the tenants, like what were they promising the German worker, They were like, yeah, we're talking unions, we're talking workers' representation, we're talking like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then they come to power, and then all the Strasserites go, and all of a sudden workers' rights are off the table. So it seems like historically, right populism is just a mask that fascists put on to get the working class behind them until they have enough power that they don't need to fake it anymore. Yeah. Um, so I brought that up. I thought, I mean, a salient point. So anyway, some people were critical, saying that I went too soft on Krystal and Kyle, which I totally sympathize with that point. I understand, but I wholeheartedly disagree with it, because what this was it was a rhetorical challenge I was unfamiliar with. Okay, so how do I express criticisms when speaking with two people whose affirmative positions are almost identical to mine, but whose behaviors differ from mine in some notable ways, particularly with Krystal, much more Krystal than Kyle. Because if you sat Krystal Ball down in a room with me and asked us basic political questions about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, about fascism, about this, about that, about Medicare for all, about unions, etc., we're going to sound very similar. Of course we will. The problem is the ways in which we express those positions. Excuse me, sorry, headache. The context in which we deliver those ideas. So in that context, how do you challenge positions? And in my mind, I tried to do the same thing I did with Tim Pool. Guys, remember Tim Pool? Tim Pool has said some ostentatiously stupid shit. Not just stupid. I mean, you all are perfectly aware of my opinion on Tim Pool's political advocacy. This is no mystery to people. But when I went on there, you'll notice, especially for the first 20 to 30 minutes, I only talked affirmative positions. I only spoke about what I believed and tried to find common ground with him. the argument with Tim Pool, it only really came up when he began to challenge the affirmative positions that I made. Exact same thing with Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, Jesse Lee Peterson is borderline neo-Nazi, you know? But when I talked with him, do I focus on that? No. We make strong affirmative positions and challenge them to disagree with us. And the reason why I think that works, and this was my thought process going in, is imagine you're a viewer of Krystal and Kyle who's not a viewer of me. Now, in all likelihood, you've probably heard of me. I'm big enough that that's the case. And you've probably heard the things people say about me. You know, I have a contentious reputation, to put it charitably. You've probably heard that I'm a debate lord, that I'm argumentative, that I'm aggressive, and that I'm uncharitable. These are probably things that you've heard. I see these thrown around about me pretty often in these circles, right? Now, the people who have these preconceptions of me, these are the people I want to reach. So my goal would be to go on there and to present my opinions in a way that don't trip any red flags from them. Because if I go on there, excuse me, and the first 30 minutes of the conversation, of the interview, I mean, is us like agreeing on all these affirmative positions, but then I'm like, but hold on, Krystal, you've done some really bad stuff in the past. And then like, it starts going into the weeds on that. Rhetorically, that is an almost impossible situation to win. Because then all the people watching who have negative preconceptions about me will go, oh, here we go. And in their minds, they've heard these criticisms before, and they have like internal defenses to them. You know, I can say, I think that Krystal is too charitable to Saga or whatever. And in their heads, and in Krystal's response, they can be, well, that's not true. Here are 87 times that I disagreed with them. And they'd be correct. Krystal has disagreed with Saga plenty of times. It gives them an easy out to ignore my positions. So instead, I thought, the best way to move people over, statistically, stochastically, the best way to give people my positions isn't to outright challenge the negative behavior that I've seen, but rather to give affirmative positions that might make them more critical of bad behavior in the future. So if I'm saying, I don't think right populism is a real thing, we need to agree on solutions rather than on existing problems, we have to make Republicans politically irrelevant, etc., etc., I'm being convincing with these arguments, I'm giving people the tools to identify bad positions in the future. And to me, that's way more valuable than going on there and just trying to get like every dunk I can fit on a little like, you know, sheet of paper on. So that was my thought going into it, you know. When you have the opportunity to talk to people on whom you've spoken about in the past, my priority is to make sure that you adjust the rhetoric to match the needs of the situation, as long as you don't back off any positions that you hold, which I don't think that I did. You know, I certainly hold the same positions that I did. I actually, at one point, expected things to go a little bit more antagonistic. When I brought up downplaying of the January 6th Capitol riots, I expected her to have some, like, retort or, like, single that point out, and I was ready, if she did that, to, like, go into it, because I felt like then she would have prompted it. But she didn't. It seemed like that point mostly sailed by. Maybe I could have hit on that one a little harder, because she really did downplay the January 6th riots, and she's downplayed the big lie from Trump, the idea that the election was stolen, that kind of thing. But if I start like listing out all the problems, everyone watching, like, they roll their eyes like, okay, we know where this goes. So, yeah. You still believe Krystal is a grifter? I can't tell, and it's a criticism I think I have to stop making because it's non-falsifiable. This is a problem that I've noticed when other people criticize me as well. It's like, do some people behave in ways that seem grifty to me? That's sure, but how do you prove me wrong on that, right? That's the problem. It's not whether or not I believe it or not. It's that since there's no way to disprove that statement, it makes me like, do I hold on to it when people argue against it, or do I say, oh well, I don't really know and make myself look weak? Of course, I don't really know. You can never know people's intentions. Yeah, it eventually becomes a dogmatic insistence. So it's not about whether or not I believe it. It's just about, is this the position I want to waste rhetorical energy defending, you know? That sort of thing. Even if I was talking to like Jimmy Dore, I think Jimmy Dore is like a huge POS. I mean, and the extent to which Jimmy Dore has like polluted left-leaning discourse is almost immeasurable. I really don't like Dor, okay? But if, like, I called him a grifter and then I went on his show and he's like, "You call me a grifter? I'm not a grifter. I believe in that." Like, how do I argue that point, you know? Like, how like, I actually can't. It's not actually possible for me to actually do that, so yeah. It just seems like a difficult position to hold. Well, Dor would be the one yelling and losing his shit. Well, with Jimmy Dore, because he has the self-control of an infant, I know that if I ever actually talk to him, which he'll never do because he's a coward, things would instantly go blood sportsy, by the way. So that's fine. If we ever talk to Jimmy Dore, it would just be me reading like the, the archival scroll of all the stupid stuff he said. So in that case, sure. But I think with the Krystal and Kyle thing, I really do think it went pretty well. I'm happy I was given the opportunity to present my case like that. I saw some people who seemed upset I criticized Biden, which, oh God, the community I've cultivated, right? I feel like my criticisms of Biden were completely appropriate in the context of that discussion. I think I was even charitable to Biden, like relatively speaking. I said, like, it's not so much about whether or not Biden is capable of single-handedly doing all these things or fixing all these problems, because he's not. It's to what extent is Biden repping these progressive ideas? How often does he talk about them? And he doesn't. A lot of the progressive shit that he promised, like, he's kind of dropped a little bit, or he's not walked back on, but like he's gotten quieter about it. Maybe that'll change with time, but it's something worth criticizing him for. Bosch, my problem was mainly the Rising's existence is meant to push the idea that the Dems and Republicans are the same and equally part of the establishment. You agreeing with Kyle on the Dems being pretty harmful because it adds that idea. Well, I did agree the Dems are bad, but I was way harder on the Republicans. What I said about the Democrats is the Democrats don't do enough. We have to push them harder. What I said about the Republicans is they're insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the future of the Republican Party, and they need to be made politically irrelevant. So, and I think that's the good thing to do. You can criticize the Democrats, but you have to make it clear the Republicans are way worse, which they are. And I think I did do that. And I didn't get pushback either when I made those comments about the Republican Party, which if I'd gotten pushback, I would have been hard on that because, yeah, the Republican Party's a death cult. But I didn't. So those statements hang in the air. And I think that works just fine. Yes, Joe Biden has been a sussy baka, as it were. Why don't we get rid of Democrats and Republicans? With what magic? What? Look, let's work on making the Republican Party as politically irrelevant as we can. I feel like that's step one. This is another thing that I'm proud of. I was very specific about my movement forward. I want to make the Republican Party irrelevant so that we can relegate progressive discourse versus moderate Democrat discourse to the only relevant political discourse taking place in America. My argument is that the presence of the Republican Party, the threat they pose to our democracy, is a bludgeon that Democrats can use to force us towards the electable moderate position. And that's true. It's good cop, bad cop. Republicans are the bad cop, and Democrats say, hey, come on. Come with us, all right? It's better than that, isn't it? So if the Republican Party is made politically irrelevant, well, then the Democrats don't have that excuse anymore. The Democrats can't say, oh, no, you have to go with Joe Biden instead of Bernie Sanders, because otherwise Trump's going to win when the Republican candidates are getting 25% of the vote every national election. It doesn't work anymore. So now we get to really have that discourse, and that's what I'm pushing for. I think that's a really good point forward. It's a criticism of the Democratic Party while acknowledging that the Republican Party is infinitely worse. Yes. The Democrats need to remove the structural barriers that help Republicans hold on to power. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But anyway, does everyone get the rhetorical strategy that I went in with there? I saw a lot of people like hardcore mauling about it online when they saw the 1 segment, which I admit, the first YouTube segment, the one where it says Vosh criticizes the rising to Krystal's face, I feel like that segment was, well, I mean, it was bait, the clickbait, of that title, because the broader conversation wasn't so much about the criticism of Rising as it was pushing forward all of the affirmative positions I have that would make people critical of Rising. So maybe it sets people's expectations up incorrectly. But one way or another, I think it was pretty good. I'm happy with it. So if the Republican Party ceases existence, would you be fine with the Democrats splitting into two separate parties, one leftist party and one lib, more moderate party? Sure, or it can be one party and just infinite discourse within. But I also want to get rid of first past the post voting, so we wouldn't just have one or two relevant parties. We could have many relevant parties. And I think that'd be good. Oh, and by the way, to everyone who subbed recently because of the Krystal, Kyle, and Friends thing, maybe some of you are watching right now. Actually, I'm going to take a look at YouTube chat. Are any of you here for the first time because of you seeing me on that conversation? I got to jump in subs. I know statistically it seems like some of you would be here. For those of you who are here, howdy. I see yeses in there. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, how do you like the conversation? And because people are going to bring it up, you can go back. There are videos where I've criticized Krystal Ball in the past. I've been extremely harsh with her. And the language that I use in those criticisms is definitely well beyond the type of rhetoric that I think is effective in the kind of engagement that I had with Krystal and Kyle there. The underlying criticisms, I stand by pretty much 100%. That's the thing that matters to me. Take the message. The message is what matters. The actual content of the message, more so than the optimal rhetoric used to deliver it at the time. I actually talked a little bit with Krystal before the recording started about the old stuff of stuff that I was said about her. So that was interesting. I'll say this much: in the future, with Krystal and Kyle, now that I've reached a point where I've spoken to them directly, I think I'm going to try and speak on whatever criticisms I have on the baseline assumption that we're working towards a common goal. Now, again, because I said the grifter thing is non-provable, it's non-falsifiable, I can never know whether or not that's the case. But I think from now on, that's going to be the strategy to go. If there's a disagreement, it's like, I feel like this could have been done better, Which maybe that's less bloody, and I know people like the blood, but I think we're at a point now where that would be a more effective strategy to take. With not just with Krystal, with basically everyone on the left. You know? Pretty much everyone who's not like on the right, except for Jimmy Dore. We can always go hard on Jimmy Dore, okay? I have completely written off Jimmy Dore in my head. I do not care what happens in the future unless we see a huge turnaround from Jimmy Dore's channel. It's all harsh on him, okay? And actually, there are a lot of other people about whom I feel the same way, but whatever. Anyway. Oh, and if you're new, come join the site, vosh.gg. Take a look at all these cool frogs people post. Look. Wow. Look at the frogs. Look at these frogs. Come on. Can't get that in YouTube chat. Look at that. And they combo when they type the same frog twice. Good stuff. They're both normalizing grifting. Kyle normalizes Krystal, who normalizes soccer. Being too lazy to properly challenge is not an excuse. No offense, Sake. I love you and your incredibly kind and charitable donations to the stream, but you're an incredibly spiteful, asshole when you just don't like a person. Your hatred for people that you don't like extends well beyond any, practical considerations. I think that, if I was super hard on her, you would have been mad at me for not flying to DC and personally, boxing her or something like that. You're even when Xander Hall's in chat, you're so mean. So I don't know if it's the best rhetorical advice to take. Yeah. Oh yeah, also subscribe, ring the bell. Hold on, let me blow my nose. Sniffly as hell. Hold on. Jeez. I hope I'm not sick. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah. I feel like I've got to. Toss a coin to your streamer. Oh, viewers plenty. God, so annoying. Ugh. You know what? You know what the real backlash is going to be? Okay? God. The real backlash is going to be if I ever get the chance to talk to Jordan Peterson and you all get super mad because I'm like cordial and charitable towards him. Oh God, the anger. Oh God, it's going to be palpable. He'll never talk to you? Well, I mean, sure, we're talking, hypothetically. This edit of a past Rising segment you did is still great all the time. Like, oh, this segment? Oh, this is like game of the year shit. Okay, I stand by everything I said here. By the way, hold on. This is my favorite. You've heard it before, right? This is the best shit. Somebody just overlaid segments from Rising with my stream segment.
A gay pride flag for their LGBT month. And Krystal Ball will say, yeah, well, this is good, I guess, but we have to recognize that corporate hegemony is never going to sincerely, promote the interests of gay people. This is just a virtue signaling attempt to get their attention. And Sagar will say,
you're completely right. This is just virtue signaling. Corporations have been brainwashed by post-Frankfurt neo-Marxist academics who are trying to disseminate an anti-white agenda by educating the wealthy and the children of the wealthy to hate white people in the pursuit of a wokeness cult.
And Krystal Ball will say, well, I don't know if I agree about that, but I do agree that corporations are bad. And Sagar will say,
yes, corporations are bad. You know who else believes that? Tucker Carlson. Let's go to a Tucker Carlson clip, folks.
Cue 2 minutes of Tucker Carlson in the middle of a segment about how black people aren't humans, talking about how corporations are bad because they support black people, but in like an insincere way. Then they cut back to Rising. Yeah, wow, you gotta hand it to him when he says stuff that could be a right or left-leaning position that's really kind of ambiguous, And then Sagar will say,
yeah, I completely agree. I really do think the insincere attempts to appeal to the interests of BLM on the part of corporations really signals how corporations are furthering the downfall of Western civilization. Really, it is nearly impossible for conservatives to imagine themselves living in the glorious, culturally hegemonous America that they once lived in back 50, 60 years ago, as long as these corporations continue to shill for anti-white agendas.
And then Krystal Ball will say, well, I don't know if I agree about that, but at least we agree corporations are bad. And then the segment ends. That's it.
That's good. Oh, and by the way, actually, if you take a look at that, wait, really quick, I just want to say, I want to reaffirm, if you take a look at that, all of the arguments that I made in this thing, I made positive positions against while talking with Krystal and Kyle. Everything here. The idea that Tucker Carlson's a sham, the idea that right populism doesn't exist, the idea that we have to work together on solutions rather than agreeing on problems, because that's the main thing that's the thing that Krystal's doing in this little joke thing that I did right here. Krystal is agreeing on problems, that corporations are insincere, anti-working class, they virtue signal, so on and so forth, but not on solutions. So they'll agree on a problem, and then Sagar runs off with a solution that's insane. And I made that exact criticism on... This is what I mean, guys. There were people who were posting this clip saying, remember when Vosh wasn't afraid to challenge Krystal Ball? But every argument in this I made in a way that is more approachable to people who didn't already agree with me while speaking with them. Does that make sense? Rhetoric. Why are solutions more agreeable? Because if you agree on a solution, you agree on something actionable. If you agree on a problem, there's no guarantee your solutions will be the same. So, say for example, let's say there's a problem. Workers in America, okay, have it rough. That's a problem, okay? Now, imagine a right-leaning person says that, okay? And myself. And I look at them and go, oh, we both agree. Working class people in America are getting it rough. What do we do about that? How do we fix that? And they might say, okay, I think that we need to end all immigration because it's depressing the wages of domestic workers. Hold on. I don't agree with that. My solution would have been unionization. I don't agree with that. But if you only agree the problem exists and don't talk solutions with them, you're giving them free rein to run off with whatever solution they want. Now, say a right-leaning person and I both agree that we need unions in this country. Well, okay. Now there's no potential for them to abuse a shared position. Does that make sense? That's why you want to agree on solutions rather than problems. It means that there's not an avenue for them to take your problem and run away with it. Because almost every left-leaning problem is something that fascists agree with to some extent. Alienation from one's labor? That's because of multiculturalism. People can no longer relate to their ethnicity and their nation. Depressed wages? Oh, that's because of immigration. A group of elites controlling the economy? Oh, that's because of Jewish people. Like, fascists will take all of the criticisms that left-leaning people have of society and then give some insane alt-universe response to it, And that's why you have to agree on the solutions. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Blues Clues Pride Parade sing-along. Oh, this is probably copyright, but I saw some screenshots of this. Blues Clues did like a pride thing. So we have, I assume this is a drag queen because they're dressed very, operatically.
Families marching
We have
one by one, hurrah!
We have the song. This is the lesbian flag, right? That's Nina West. Oh, cool. This is the lesbian flag, right? I actually don't know any of the like pride flags. I just know the obvious ones, like gay, and I know pan because that's mine. But
And they all go march to hurrah, hurrah.
We have dolphins, which are a queer icon. Oh, that's this is Ace, right? This is Ace. Right? No, this is non-binary? Oh, non-binary, gotcha. Does Ace look similar?
Are non-binaries, they love
hello.
each other so proudly, and they all go march by four, hurrah.
Oh, here okay, well we know the transes, okay?
Families marching four, march, hurrah. Families marching 5 by 6, hooray. Marching 6 by 6, hurrah.
Well, there's the pan, okay. Wait, what's the green? Is this Irish pride? What's the green one? The green, white, black? Aromantic? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hurrah. Yeah. Families marching 7 by separately. They love each other so proudly. 8 by 8. The big
I'm only skipping so I don't get copyrighted.
10 by 10. Hurrah. Hurrah. Family.
Damn. Is that a Muslim owl? Based. Feel like that'd get in the way of turning your head 180 degrees around, though, right?
Marching 10 by 10. Wow! Thanks, Blue.
You can ask your parents to subscribe.
Oh, well, that's really cute. What's happening? It's Blue's Clues. It's like for like 4-year-olds. They're being indoctrinated with woke propaganda. Excuse me. It's actually pretty base though. Look at the comments. Comments are turned off. It's for YouTube kids. YouTube videos designated for kids don't have comments on. You can't add them to playlists, that kind of stuff. Eventually it'll get dogpiled. It only got posted yesterday. Holy shit, Vosh, I can't get over how skinny you've gotten. I'm still 250 pounds. We've got still a lot of work to be done, okay? On my end. You should talk about how pog the cartoons are nowadays. They're also gay and communist. Yeah, well, it's the reason why conservatives are so like adamant and fastidious with their opposition to popular media and to academia. It's because whether they like it or not, the people making media and the people teaching children are way more likely to be on the left than they are to be on the right. Because things like education and the humanities, those tend to attract left-leaning people. So it's really only a matter of time. Vosh, you fucking idiot, you think an owl wouldn't design a hijab that can't rotate 360 degrees? Yeah, it's like the the stretchy fabric, you know? Yeah. Think, Vosh, think. You really think a Muslim owl wouldn't design a hijab that can't rotate? uh, uh, I want that emote so bad. Do we should get like an emote like this, shouldn't we? It should be big, like wide peepo happy, like a double wide emote, and it's like this. We should. Zan and Denims have it. Oh, okay. Well, I figured I wouldn't be the first one to think of this. I don't know what it would look like, but yeah. Make your own. Yeah. Oh, good pushy soda. Good luck. Hog. My family unironically called me a libtard for going to college and arguing that invading Iraq was bad. Damn, even like the Republican Party has backed off invading Iraq for the most part. Even Trump criticized that. How neocon are they? Jesus. I could draw you in the Mark style for chat. No, I don't want to be Mark. I want to be Nolan. Yeah. How is there a cat here in my mouth? Jesus. For the emote whoops, I meant Nolan. Yeah, I have to be Nolan, okay? Dude, there are... Nolan is really hot, okay? Jeez. Did Vosh respond to Jen from Status Quo having VDS? I don't know who Jen is, and I don't know what Status Quo is. Let's see. So this is in response to Krystal Ball saying that she talked to me. There are actual bad people on the left who get consistently platformed and rewarded, while in-field and investigative work that lifts the voice of the people gets snubbed 99.9% of the time. Vosh is an outright terrible person, and yet here we are. Here we'll always be. Wait, what do you mean actual bad people on the left who get consistently platformed and rewarded? I am the platform. All right? In 5 years, Krystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske will have photos on their mantles of the time they talked to me and think, damn, that was pretty sick. I am the Senate, okay? Oh, and oh my god, the whole thread is like a Kiwi Farms thing. Holy shit, it's like everything. You're already bigger than either of them, apparently. That's not true. Kyle Kalinske and Krystal Ball are both significantly larger than me. I'm being very optimistic right now. We're being a very peppy lad. You know? She has a pic of your bulge there. Wait, does she have the bulge pic? Damn, you know. Oh yeah, damn. That's the picture that that Sargon of Akkad had in his Twitter for a while. He kept posting. Dude, people who hate me are so weird. Holy shit. My daughter-in-law has VDS. We argued over you for a fucking week. It kind of put a rift between us. The idea of a father and a daughter-in-law arguing over me. Just don't bring me up around each other, okay? I'm not worth it. Stay strong, okay? Oh, God. How are we doing, folks? That good, huh? Yeah, may that be the least of their arguments. They're obsessed with your greasy sack. What can I say? Yeah, I don't know what it is with VDSers and my obsession with my sweaty cock and balls. Jeez. When's the next Soygon convo? Apparently he wants to talk like sometime next month. Oh, wait. I wonder what he wants to talk about. I should have an email on that from the organizer. Hold on. Oh, wait. No list of topics yet. It's going to be boring as shit. Should we even argue with Sargon, or should we just make fun of him for thirsting over shoe and posting my dick on Twitter for like a month consecutively? You know, I, I, f- I feel like he might be past. Do both? Yeah, we got to do both. Intersperse. No ad homing, people. God. Wonder how Sargon's wife feels, Lamau. Oof, yeah, that's gotta suck. With all the posting he does on how preteens can get his dick. Yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, Sargon's unironically like a pedophile. He posts on Twitter about how like it is if as long as you hit puberty, you're like good, you know? Just really weird shit. Are we ready to actually talk about politics, or do we want to continue gossiping for the next hour? Have you heard of Apologia Studios? They're linked to a church and recently debated with someone identify the video title Pastor vs. Pro-BLM Pro-Choice Vote. If you link a YouTube video, I could look at it, but I don't remember the name of everything offhand. Yeah, I watched the new H-Bomb video. Wait, this is a politics stream? Yeah, you know, how easily we forget, huh? You know, I like to keep things nice and comedic. I try my best, too. But, wow, we are pushing the limit here of good comedy. Pennsylvania GOP lawmakers passes bill that fines women for miscarriages. Now, thankfully, the Pennsylvanian governor, Tom Wolf, says he'll veto any anti-choice legislation that comes to his desk. So I don't know if these are actually going to go through. Probably not. But, I mean, it's just nice to see where the GOP is at right now, you know? What are we on about? Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania have voted to fine women who miscarry and force them to fill out a traumatic fetal death certificate form. I need you all to understand that this reads like a satire of modern society. Okay? I need you to recognize, like, a woman has a miscarriage, she's like crying in the hospital, and then they're like, all right, here's the fetal death certificate form. Here's the box. Draw what you think your child would have looked like at 3 years old. And on the next page, this is 9 years old. Draw what you think they would have looked like. You have 60 minutes. We will be watching you and recording. Like, what is there to fill out? It's not just that either. The state's House Health Committee passed 3, quote, pro-life bills on May 25th. The Heartbeat Bill, the Unborn Child Dignity Act, and the Down Syndrome Protection Act. The Heartbeat Bill prohibits abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected. Now, hold on. When does a fetus, this is going to be very early on, develop a heartbeat? As early as 5.5 to 6 weeks after gestation. How long before pregnancy is visible? 12 to 16 weeks. Okay, so this bill would essentially just make abortion illegal. Pretty much as simple as that. Heartbeats happen real early on. Very, very early on. I mean, the heartbeat. The new law would require a physician to confirm whether a fetal heartbeat is present before an abortion, despite how far along the pregnancy is, the outlet writes. Under the Down Syndrome Protection Act, abortions would be illegal after a pregnant woman receives a Down syndrome diagnosis, which is, I really want you to consider the implications of this, okay? The heartbeat these bills talk about is not even a heart, it's connective tissue pulsing in the fetus. Yeah, a proto-heart. I mean, the proto-beat. We shouldn't allow them to be discriminated against, Representative Kate Klunk said. That's the sound her head makes when you shake her a little. Children with Down syndrome, they lead amazing lives. They're contributing in so many ways, but they need the chance at life to be able to do that. Now, I'm going to infer something. I don't know anything about Kate Clunk over here. But I'd be willing to believe that Kate Clunk doesn't give a single shit about people with Down syndrome. And if given the opportunity to pay a small fine to go in a gladiatorial arena and try to kill as many of them as she could with a halberd, she would have no moral qualms whatsoever with this process. Absolutely none whatsoever. Being that she is a Republican, I imagine she probably has them served to her every once in a while as a a dining accoutrement. The only reason they're going for the Down syndrome angle here is because they're trying to co-opt the like woke, like anti-ableist, everyone deserves a life, everyone deserves a voice type dealio, which is more than a little disingenuous because the strongest advocates for people with developmental disabilities are usually also pro-choice people. It's completely disingenuous. This person does not care at all about people with Down syndrome at all. I'm actually surprised. Wait. I don't think you could get away with this legally. Not that that's ever stopped a Republican. Do you think they're ever going to pass, like, the African American Fetal Protection Act, and they're going to say, like, the racist abortion of millions of black babies has to end? Now it will be illegal to abort a baby if they know it's black. I would not be surprised if we're going to see something like that within the decade, okay? That would be... that would be absolutely incredible. Yeah, I need to stop talking because there are probably Republican legislators listening right now. They're like, like writing it out. It violates the 14th straight up. Oh, they could still pass it. They would have to wait for it to get challenged by the courts. They would wait for it to get challenged by the courts and then make it a big media circus of how the radical left Supreme Court is forcing the state to allow black people to be killed in the womb. Okay? I know exactly how that discourse would play out. Anyway. Application for a fetal death certificate. Wait, hold on. Application? You don't just get a fetal death certificate, you have to apply for it? So you get a miscarriage, and then you have to fill out the form asking the state to give you the form that you have to fill out, and it costs money? Okay. The third bill, the Unborn Child Dignity Act, requires a woman to fill out a mandatory fetal death certificate after a miscarriage. Healthcare facilities would be required to provide burial or cremation options after a pregnancy loss. The state, ooh, that's a slick one. Healthcare facilities would be required, aka if your hospital does abortion services, it's going to cost you. The state also voted to charge women who would be required to use the form. Okay, so that's the charge right there. So $20 to do the form. Ink's expensive, I guess. Each of these pro-life bills helps to recognize the humanity of the unborn child, said Alexis Stefani, who, and I know this with absolute certainty, and you can sue me if I'm lying, ate a baby right before saying this to a journalist. Communications and Policy Officer for the Pennsylvania Family Institute. Several Twitter users expressed their fury over the bill, with one user writing, "Nope, no way, F that S." All right. Are we really citing Twitter users as the opposition to this bill? What about the, like, civil rights organizers who are probably available to give comment? We're really going to Twitter for the defense? And now we have a statement from the governor. Throughout my time as governor, I've fought hard against right-wing attempts to limit an individual's right to make their own healthcare decisions, including by using my pen to veto every anti-choice bill the Pennsylvania General Assembly has passed. Okay, so what are we taking from this? What's the lesson we're going to learn here? Well, obviously, it's that Republicans are monsters. But, like, is this new? No, of course not. Here's the thing we actually need to know, okay? And I know you've heard this before, but it needs to be reiterated, okay? Republican officials don't care about unborn fetuses. They don't care about babies. They don't care about life. If they thought they could get away with it, they would use them as delicacies, cushions. They would have them shot into the sky so they could shoot at them like clay pigeons. They do not care even slightly. And this is evidenced by the fact that Republicans are categorically opposed to literally any kind of proven effective government or private standard for improving the livelihood of Americans, especially poor Americans. They just do not care. This is about two things, first and foremost. First, Republicans despise women. They despise them. They absolutely despise them, 100%, okay? All you need to do is go look back towards the gender roles of the 1950s to see the unenviable contempt that social conservatives have for women, okay? The men despise women for all of the pleasures they were denied in high school, and the women despise women because they've been taught that every other woman is competing with them for the limited resources they have to scrounge from the men in their lives. They hate them. They truly despise them. I'd like to attribute it to some sort of broader political effort, but in reality, I really just think this is some Freudian stuff. It's really just their tiny, emotionally underdeveloped minds trying to grapple with the disappointments in their lives, okay? Miserable, unhappy, pseudo people, these Republican legislators, lumbering from congressional hall to congressional hall, conspiring to make regular people's lives worse. That's one. And two, very important here, and two, what I just described is not representative of every Republican voter. As a matter of fact, most Republican voters. I'd be willing to bet most Republican voters genuinely do, in their heart of hearts, care about the unborn for one reason or another. Maybe they also hate women. They probably do. But I do think they care about it on some fundamental level. I ask of those people then, why do your legislators do everything in their power to limit a woman's right to choose exclusively in ways which hurt women, but do nothing to alleviate the frequency of abortion in ways that don't hurt women? Like, for example, sex education. Infinitely cheaper and more effective, by the way, than anything they're trying to do with this, government agencies set up to prevent women from getting abortions and the punishment and the et cetera, et cetera. Way more small government. Just some basic sex ed. What about free contraceptives? Right? Right? Seriously, we're talking like pennies on the dollar compared to the social costs associated with making illegal abortion. But they don't do that. If they were doing those things and doing all these crazy anti-choice bills, then I might be willing to believe they're acting in good faith. But they don't. They only push for fetal rights in incredibly disingenuous, borderline unconstitutional, and sometimes flagrantly unconstitutional ways that are designed to hurt women. It's about punishing sin, exactly. They don't say this as much anymore, but back 10, 20 years ago, the Republicans were very, very, very clear on their opinions of women who get pregnant. Why can't they just close their legs? Why do they have to open it for every guy they can find? Why can't they practice responsibility? Why does a child have to suffer because the mother was too sultry, too wanton to make responsible decisions? It's about punishing people. It's the same reason that Republicans come down hard on crime. It's not about making society better. It's because they think women who are pregnant are less than them, especially if they're pregnant and not able to take care of a child in a good home. So they need to be punished. And if they can't make abortion outlawed directly, they can still humiliate, shame, and fine those women. PA resident here, the Republican Senate just passed an amendment that lets them override a veto by simple majority. This will 100% pass. Wolf can't stop him. Then I guess it'll come down to the courts, won't it? Yeah. Remember, folks, don't forget, abortion is a very convenient stick and carrot by which Republicans are led. There are a lot of Republicans out there who disagree with almost everything the Republican Party represents, but will continue to vote Republican because they keep getting led around in this abortion issue. That's the reason why Republicans fixate on it so much. It's a sports game, yeah. It's the team flag. Nice meme. Have you seen this? It's being used against a lot of pro-Palestine activists. Uh-oh. If only there was a connection. More anti-Semitic incidents in May than any month since records began. Yeah, of course. When you heighten tensions, and one of the sides on those tensions is Israel, a state that everyone is saying is representative of Jewish people, yeah, those tensions are going to be reflected onto Jewish people. That's why it's so insanely irresponsible to continue to say, oh yeah, dude, Israel is the Jewish state and Jewish people better support Israel or they're bad Jews. Yeah, of course, it's horribly irresponsible. That's not to defend the people engaging in anti-Semitic attacks, though. Those people are pieces of shit and there are no defenses for their behavior. But, I mean, when you make the actions of a state and an ethnic/religious group overlap, and then the state does bad stuff, I mean, what do you think's going to happen? Stop doing that. Oh, it's extremely anti-Semitic to say Israel represents all Jews. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Of course, it's worth noting that a great many of the people who engage in these anti-Semitic hate crimes would have done so no matter what Israel did. Because there are, let's be clear, a lot of just flat anti-Semites out there. Not people freaking out and, like, responding to existing events or anything like that. A lot of people just hate Jewish people. And they're all pieces of shit. You're saying the Jews deserve it? I really appreciate your handler allowing you and presumably any other people with dysfunctionally low IQs the 5 minutes of computer time you needed to type that out. But this stream is definitely not for you, okay? Please, be gone. And remember, guys, I get to be ableist. I'm autistic. I am allowed. We do a little autism here. Why is everyone autistic now? It's the internet. Hold on. Sorry. That was my excuse in your Discord server and I got banned. Yeah, it only works when I do it. Sorry. Same reason people can't say the N-word in the Discord. You can say you're black all you want, but how do we verify that? Ask people to post skin tone? No. I can prove it, because I'm the live streamer, okay? Do you have a license for that ableism, mate? Oh, yes, I do, actually. Wait, only you can say the N-word in the Vosh Discord? No, I didn't say that. I only incorrectly implied it. That's bullshit. Just because you have a neurotypical condition doesn't mean you can be a shit to people, Vosh. Sorry, okay? This is the one little thing I have, all right? Don't take this from me, okay? I have so little. Let me have this. All right. Seriously, don't use the R slur and other stuff. You don't have that right as somebody with ASD. I unironically think the only reason people say that is because I don't. Why do you slam the door? Just hold the knob and then guide the door. What's up? Yeah, sure. I unironically feel like the only reason people get mad at me saying the R slur, Christ, is because I don't act as autistic. I feel like if I was more visibly neurodivergent, that people wouldn't have a problem. Okay, this is gatekeeping, all right? True. True. Any truers in chat? There we go. Knew we had some truers in chat. That's what I like to see. Same thing happens because you don't act gay enough, lol. I feel like I already act so gay. I feel like I was already clearing that bar, but I guess I hadn't gone far enough. To be fair, you had 3 keyboards. That's got to be a sign of something. Oh, God, where was that? This is why... Okay, we need to do these shout-outs every once in a while because you guys are missing out on some quality content. Hold on. Vosh keyboard. Well, I was playing Resident Evil 8 the other day. Yeah, dude! Wait! My keyboard! Wait, no! What my keyboard? Wait, real? Okay, hold on. Luckily, I came with a backup. Say goodbye, folks, to the shitty $10 wireless keyboard. And say hello to the shitty $10 wired keyboard. Wait, what? Oh no! I went too cheap with this one, boys! I went too cheap with this one! Thankfully, I have another backup. Say goodbye to the shitty $10 wired and wireless keyboards, and say hello to the $20 wireless keyboard. Yeah, anyone who's saying I'm not autistic, all right? Take a look at that. How do you explain that then? Still on that $20 one, by the way. We'll see how long that lasts. Just get one $40 keyboard. I will eventually, okay? I'm just, look, okay, it's just, I'm so poor, okay? You just help a guy out with some dono money, okay? You need to shit on Ryan Knight more. He says so much stupid shit. Yeah, I just feel like nobody pays attention to Ryan Knight anymore. Does that, like, Ryan Knight used to frequently get like viral tweets, but now I feel like nobody cares what Ryan Knight has to say. Like, look at this. 25 minutes ago. The problem with the Democrats is they co-opt the language of the left when they're campaigning for votes, but then as soon as they get power, they govern like the right-wing capitalist and imperialist party that they are. Less than 200 likes 25 minutes ago. That's like a ridiculously low amount of engagement for a guy with how much? Like a third of a million? Here he is being put alongside socialist MMA. Yeah, there's like no engagement here. Here's him retweeting a tweet from last year. There's just not much to criticize here. I get more engagement on my Twitter, you know? Damn, this guy tweets a lot. If you guys want to see somebody truly unhinged who never stops tweeting, okay, you would be looking for James Lindsay, my friend. The person who did that really bad PragerU video on critical race theory. That guy is completely unhinged. That, like, you can actually, like, go look. I've wanted to talk about him for a while, but he's so crazy that I feel like anything I said would just be an infinitesimally small fraction of all the incredible shit. The only thing that I can really say is, like, you should just go look at it, you know? Lindsay is a girl's name? True! That's true. That's pretty true. That's true. Isn't he like an alt-righter or like a Ben-tier neocon? James Lindsay is a fugitive from another dimension, okay? Where a doomsday Cthulhu cult called the Woke, no relation to the term we use here, took over his world and destroyed it. He's the lone survivor. He arrived in our world and thinks the Woke, like BLM and stuff, is that cult, and he talks about them the exact way you would expect a deranged, dimension-jumping fugitive to talk about the thing he thinks destroyed his last world. The way he talks about the Woke is like, he really does sound like a Warcraft villain. You know what I mean? Or like an anime villain. Like talking about, he sounds like fucking Gendo talking with Seal, you know? The Dead Sea Scrolls. He's completely insane. I love him. Yeah. No, he's not well, by the way. He also tweets more than I think any other human in all of existence. James, his current Twitter name is James Lindsay, comma, well-adjusted and very confident, which I think he pulled from somebody criticizing him the other day. Yeah, how many... Can you hear me scrolling? Hold on, wait. Listen to the scroll, okay? Can you hear the... Hold on. I'm going to scroll down 1 hour of feed. Okay, there. We've reached the 2nd hour. Oh, you can't hear? Damn it. We we've reached the 2nd hour. You'll just have to take my word for it. What is that shitty mouse? This is a $3 Logitech laser mouse. It's the same mouse that I've been using since I stopped using a mouse with a ball in it. Okay? What's wrong with it? It moves the pointer. Do you have a backup? No, I don't. I've never needed a backup. These are very reliable. You guys remember ball mouses? I bet you don't because you're all kids. You know, nowadays lasers track it, but it used to be that there would literally be a physical little rubber, I think it was rubber, or plastic ball inside the mouse that would roll against whatever table surface you were using, and it would infer the movement from that. Or a hard-boiled egg, as some people would do, yes. Which I never had to do, thankfully. Yeah, and you had to clean it out. You had to clean it out, get all the dust out of it. Yeah, 100%, yeah. Now it's all lasers, so that's nice. I'm sorry, what? Do you guys really not... Hold on. Ball mouse. No, not a modern ball mouse. The old ones. The ones in the bottom. Old ball mouse? Old ball mouse. Yeah, this is what they used to be like. See? There was literally just a little rubber ball inside a little container, and you would have to, like, take it out every once in a while and get the dust off it. Like all the 15-year-olds in chat who were like, oh my god, the primitive technology you used. God, I hated those. Yeah, well, compared to today, they're pretty unsophisticated, that's true. Yeah. Scared of the egg ball, true. Explain the egg thing. Some people would say that if you lost your ball or if it was damaged, you could hard boil the yolk of an egg and use it in its place. I heard a lot of people say that. I've never actually tried it myself. It sounds like gross, but a lot of people have said they did that, so. I think it's a meme. I don't know. People talked about it. Pretty sure it's a meme. Okay, meme 7. That was making fun of people amount. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I never tried it. And I only learned about it after laser mouses were ubiquitous, so sort of a post hoc thing. Depends on how hard you boil it, right? What is an egg mouse? Don't. Shh. Anyway. We were talking about politics. You know, there was something from Prager University that I wanted to look at a little while ago, and I'm wondering if I can find it. I couldn't add it to my playlist because it was a video made for kids. Curious. Where was it? Oh, there it is. I really hope I don't get copyright boned on this one. From Prager University. 4 kids. Leo and Layla's history adventures with President Ronald Reagan. I haven't watched it. I'll keep it like that. We're no copyright. All criticisms intended for fair use purposes. Gonna learn today. Fixing a fence. Oh, we're not fixing that fence.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Layla.
Why are you pulling down our neighbor's fence?
First of all, all right. First of all, I cannot believe that PragerU would endorse this gender hair. Okay? Pink hair, blue hair. These are dyed hair colors. Okay? This is SJW propaganda right off the bat.
Today, this is not a fence.
Oh, yeah? Then what is it?
It's the Berlin Wall, and I'm Ronald Reagan, our 40th president.
And I guess that means you're here to tear down the Berlin Wall?
You got it. I'm gonna set the East Berliners free.
Leo, I'm pretty sure
No. We should do this for everything Reagan's done. You know what I mean? He should be like what's her name? Layla? Layla walks up to Leo and he's got a bunch of like anthills fenced in with some dirt and he's lit them all on fire, you know, and he's watching the flames slowly creep across the grass, slaughtering thousands of ants. What are you doing, Leo? Oh, I'm watching the AIDS pandemic like our great former president, Ronald Reagan. I'm doing the Iran-Contra scandal is like with like a drug dealer funneling money and like getting firecrackers to throw around. Please.
that our neighbors aren't from East Berlin.
Well, they are today.
Whatever you say, Leo.
Did you know that Ronald Reagan was one of our most popular presidents?
Of course I knew that.
And did you know he was California's governor before he was president?
Well, duh. Did you know that he started out as an actor?
Okay, I'm just gonna give a little bit of friendly criticism to Prager University, okay? If you're making content for kids, why wouldn't you make it interesting for kids by leading into it with some kind of narrative? Like, why? Like, I've seen like more politically minded children's animations before. They don't usually open with like, "Hey, Timmy, what are you doing?" I'm learning about Watergate today. Did you know? Like, normally there's like kind of a lead in a little bit. You know what I mean? There's like some kind of opening get. I guess the animation budget ran thin.
He starred in over 50 movies.
Cool.
Yeah, and he wasn't just an actor either.
Why are
he
you
was in
looking
the
at me?
military during World War II.
You know what? He was actually great at a lot of stuff. He played college football.
He was also on the swim team.
He ran track, too.
Plus, he was student body president.
This is a very weird. This is weird for kids and for adults. What if? I noticed we're spending very little time talking about the presidency. This is a cult of personality. Yeah, where's the terrorist cells he funded, you know? Where's him promoting you know, like anti-gun laws to shut down the Black Panther Party because he was scared of black people exercising the Second Amendment rights? Wait, like,
And he was totally handsome.
well, now we have the proof. Now we have the proof that Dennis Prager himself wrote this. Okay? Today, I will be writing the script for a child's animation. Ronald Reagan is so sexy. Asterisk, draw tall woman with SJW hair kissing photo of Ronald Reagan. Layla, what are you doing to that photo? This is very weird.
Ew, gross.
What the heck, Leo?
Boy, I sure wish I could have met Ronald Reagan.
Well, why can't you?
Because he passed away in 2004 when he was 93 years old.
Base.
I wasn't even born yet, and now I'll never get to meet him.
Geez, Leo, don't be so dramatic. We can just use my new time travel app to go meet him.
Really? Awesome.
You just tap here and away we go. But let me get the settings right before you do that.
Ronald Reagan, here I come.
Oh
Dinosaur age. Dinosaur age. No! It's gonna be the future after BLM takes over. It's gonna be the future. I'm calling it. It's the future after BLM takes over. Or something like that, okay?
Wow, is this what West Berlin looks like? Layla, look at that wall. It's huge. Hey, wait. Where's Layla?
no! What the heck? Where am I? Oh,
What?
great. Thanks, Leo.
Wait, is he stranded? Oh, Leo is now stranded by the Berlin Wall. He's gonna have to single-handedly fix the Cold War. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gripped now. Hold on.
Better go find him.
I can't believe I actually went back in time. Maybe I'll really get to meet Ronald Reagan.
Did someone say my name?
No!
Wow, you're really President Reagan. Nice to meet you. I'm Leo.
Now, Leo, when you're reading that line, you've just been time portaled to the Berlin Wall in the 80s, and you see President Reagan. Okay, can you give me a delivery on that line?
Say my name?
Wow, you're really President Reagan.
Perfect. Early lunch.
Nice to meet you. I'm Leo, and I came here from the future. What are you doing here?
Cool.
Nice to meet you, Leo. I'm here in Berlin to stop the communists and end the Cold War.
Oh, man. All this talk about communists is making me hungry.
Well,
Oh, no. Yeah, I know the joke here is that communists don't get enough food, but it sounds like he just wants to eat them. All this talk of East Berliners making little Leo hungry.
well, Leo, communism makes everyone hungry.
Reagan with the save.
People living under communism are often poor and don't have enough money for food. That's why we have to stop it.
I guess you're right, but can we have a snack first? I brought jelly beans.
Leo, thank you.
Can we please get, I'm begging you, can we please get a poorly acted, like, East Berliner with a Russian accent? Please. I need it.
That's my favorite snack.
It's too bad Layla isn't here to have some too.
Weren't you at the ranch? I don't think
Hey,
the
Mr.
ranch
Reagan,
was at the
can I
White
ask you
House.
some questions?
Of course you can, Leo.
Why did they build the Berlin Wall in Germany?
That's a good question. We're in West Berlin, which is the free side of Germany. On the other side of the wall is East Berlin, which is occupied by the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, which is communist, built this wall during the Cold War to keep people locked in East Berlin and stop them from going to freedom in West Berlin.
We sure are lucky to be on this side.
You're right about that, Leo.
Why is it called the Cold War anyway? It doesn't seem that cold.
This voice actor sounds like text-to-speech. Yeah, it does. That all sounds like text-to-speech. If they should have just gone with text-to-speech, they could have saved the acting fees. This is so good. This is my favorite children's cartoon, okay? Move aside, Gravity Falls.
It's not because of cold weather. It's called the Cold War because we were able to end the war without using any weapons.
I didn't pause the video. This is just him taking that in.
A war with no shooting or bombs? How did you do that?
I'm trying to think. 1945. 1988. The 88 that ended? Let's see. No shooting. No bombs. 89? 89. Yeah, sounds about right. What?
That the United States, well, everyone was afraid that the United States and the Soviet Union were going to shoot nuclear bombs at each other. But thankfully, that never happened.
A nuclear bomb would have been terrible. That's the biggest kind of bomb there is.
You're absolutely right, Leo. That's why we
You're absolutely right. That is the biggest bomb that there is. It's really big.
signed the INF.
Oh, I see. Wait, what's the INF?
The INF stands for Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty.
Are they seriously marketing this to kids? Do they seriously think that any child is going to follow through with it? This speaks not just to the stupidity of the conservative intelligentsia, but also their general incompetence at everything involving media production, which is why Ben Shapiro is where he is right now, by the way, and not writing scripts for Hollywood, okay? They can't write for shit, okay? I could come up with a way better, like, highly propagandized anti-Soviet Union kids thing, okay? Like, what, like, if you're going for, the time traveling thing, you know, why, like, here, right off the top of my head, what if it's a brother and sister who time travel, okay? And they're traveling through human history, exploring the world, and they end up in like the 1980s Soviet Union, where things are going really, really bad. They don't like it there. Things are cold. People are starving. And they think, oh, God, America should do something to help these people. So they go to the White House and they talk to Reagan. And Reagan's like, oh, yeah, I know. You know, this thing's been going on for a while. And then they lead into a couple of brief explanations about how, like, America saved the world by ending the Cold War and helped the Soviet people by freeing them of their autocratic rulers. Like, you could, in 5 minutes, you could do so much better than this and convey more information that kids will actually care about. But they can't write. They're utterly incompetent, and thank God for that, too.
Both our countries agreed to sign the treaty so we didn't have to use our bombs.
Is that all it took to end the Cold War?
Well, no, Leo. We also used our economy to win.
Economy? Isn't that money stuff? That sounds really complicated.
It's really very simple, Leo. We used a program called Reaganomics to make our economy strong. We cut taxes so that the government took less of people's hard-earned money away from them, and that led to more people getting jobs.
Why? If this is meant for kids, would you ever use the term Reaganomics? Why wouldn't you, say you're doing my idea, they go over to America, why are all the Russians starving? Well, their government taxes them all their money. But we don't do that. We let the people in America decide how they want to spend their money, rather than the government making those decisions for them. And that's why America is free. Don't say Reaganomics. Just give them the trickle-down economic spiel and let the presumed 5-year-olds that are listening to this, like...
Blah! I don't want a job. I hate work. My sister Layla has a job after school, but I like to play after school.
Well, Leo, when you grow up, getting a job and working hard is part of being responsible.
Right.
I'm sure your sister is working hard to find you right now. Thanks to everyone working hard,
what
the
is
United
this just
States
walking
economy
around the
was
White
so
House?
big that the Soviet Union couldn't keep up.
You are amazing, Mr. Reagan. You saved everyone's lives and made them better at the same time.
Well, thank you, Leo, but the job isn't done yet. We still have one more thing to do. Mr. Gorbachev,
that turn.
job isn't done yet. We still have one more thing to do. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I will unleash my full power.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yeah! Freedom for everyone!
There you are, Leo. I've been looking for you everywhere. What have you been up to?
Hi, Layla. You just missed it. President Reagan and I tore down the real Berlin Wall.
Didn't
Ugh,
Gorbachev?
I can't believe
Didn't the Gorbachev do that? It wasn't. What?
I missed it. You need to be careful when you time travel. My phone battery is almost empty, and we need to get back before it's too late.
Okay, Layla. Let me say goodbye to Ronald Reagan first, though. Bye, Mr. President. It was nice meeting you. Thanks for beating the communists.
Goodbye, Leo. And remember this, it's never too late to fight for freedom.
Here we go, Leo.
Why wouldn't you sing for it? Did he take the jelly beans? I thought he hated taxes. Thief!
Yay, we're back! Layla, you should have been there when Ronald Reagan told them to tear down the Berlin Wall. It was super fun.
Well, you could always go back in time and watch it happen again with your time machine.
It's okay, Leo. I got to do a lot of fun things in the past, too.
Like what?
Glad you asked, Leo. Well, I went to the White House and met Nancy Reagan, the First Lady, and I learned all about their program to keep kids off drugs.
Just say no.
You got that right. Plus, I went to the Supreme Court and visited one of my role models, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor.
You know, I did woman things while you went and met with Ronald Reagan, who was apparently at the Berlin Wall when it collapsed, as he single-handedly ordered, you know. I went and did girl things, you know?
Who was that?
She was the first woman on the Supreme Court. She's proof that anyone can become what they want in America. And guess who appointed her?
I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. He really likes jelly beans.
Ronald Reagan did that too? Man, I'm so glad I got to meet him. Hey, Layla, do you think that I could grow up to be like Reagan?
Of course you can. When Ronald Reagan was your age, his family didn't even have plumbing or running water. But you'll have to work hard if you want to be like him.
You bet I will.
Great. Now why don't you start by fixing that fence before Mom and Dad get home?
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Truly beyond the pale. Thank you, Discord memers, for working quickly. Much appreciated. Bosh, that was painfully cringe. Yeah, I think the lesson here is more so than all the propagandizing and the dishonesty, is really that they are not capable. I think I understand now. I don't think conservatives have developed theory of mind. That's what I think it is. I don't think conservatives know what goes on in other people's heads. I don't think they've like developed that level of cognitive, processing. I'll tell you about theory of mind, okay? It's really simple stuff. Little kids don't have it, like little kids. You can do an experiment, okay? Let's say you tell a kid a story, all right? You've got two ladies, Sally and Jane, and they're in a room, all right? Sally has a little toy doll and puts it in a toy chest and then leaves, all right? Then Jane, while Sally is out, takes the little doll from the toy chest and puts it in the dresser. Then Sally comes back. You ask the kid, where is Sally going to look for her doll? Now, older kids will say, Sally will look in the chest because that's where Sally left the doll. But very young kids will say, Sally will look in the dresser because that's where the doll is. The very young kids aren't able to distinguish between what they know and what they know other people know. And I think conservatives are somewhere on like that border, because anyone who produced, wrote, voice acted, and animated that script could not have no person with theory of mind could have possibly believed that was something children would watch. Oh God. I would have thought that was some kind of genius satire. It really is indistinguishable from satire, isn't it? They probably made bank, though. Nah, that video's got like 40,000 views. It's good. It's good. That's it? Yeah. They're trying to break into a new market. This is a good theory of mind vid short. Oh, yeah. I think Vsauce has a video on it. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a psychology expert. But are there comments? No. Kids' videos don't have comments on YouTube. PragerU defended Nixon. Yeah, I think that PragerU is trying to do the impossible. They're trying to, like, construct a shared Republican identity that includes all of their big heroes. You know what I mean? From Lincoln to Eisenhower to Nixon to Ronald Reagan to Trump. Even though there's this huge ideological inconsistency with all these people, and Trump has denounced Bush and Reagan, and most Republicans these days don't respect Reagan as much as they do Trump, and nobody obviously Lincoln is the antithesis to all these ideas and all this, but they try to like mash it all together and make conservatives pro all of it, which is an unenviable task, you know? So, well. Really shows how the best of the Republican presidents was the first one. Well, yeah. Wasn't Eisenhower a SOCDEM? Eisenhower was... I don't know much about Eisenhower, but from what I remember, it seemed like he was a decent president. I mean, by the standards of the American presidency, it seems like there were some things he did that was fairly enviable. Certainly for a military man, you know, you'd expect quite a lot of bad out of that. Yeah. Yes, he made highways and he also did military coups. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Wait, Eisenhower dropped the nukes, Voshville? Yeah, I'm just saying that as a president, as I recall, it seemed like that he was fairly invested in like infrastructure and investment in the country. Wasn't Eisenhower also the one who told Americans to fear? No, oh yeah, no, yeah, Truman did. Yeah. Sorry. Wasn't Eisenhower the one that told everyone to fear the military-industrial complex? That's what I remember. I remember that. Yeah. Which is, you know, cool. I think that's nice. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I need to pee, actually. And then I'll read some donos. 1 second. Howdy. Why does chair not speak? Strong silent type. Let me read a couple donations. And thank you everyone who's sticking around for the stream. If you haven't, you should subscribe to the channel. Because if you don't, I'll tell Chad about that thing you did. That's what I thought. Mortimer. Thank you for the very kind $5. My name is pronounced Mortimer, by the way. Mortimer. Gotcha. Thank you. Guilty with the 3 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much. Sally has to hoard all the coconuts for retaliation. True. The natural. Right. Skill Will with the very kind $30 for the $30 keyboard upgrade. Thank you very much. We have to keep the chain of procession going on. Shoegaze, the very kind $7. Thank you very, very much. Sake Tanuki, the very kind $10. TBH, most of the beef with Zan is mostly a meme taken too far and some surface level aesthetics over the name change from Pig Puncher, some small pitfalls. And then the additional $10. Zan's fine. Every single complaint I've heard about them are things I've seen you do as well, and all are easily fixed. I'll bury the meme hatch in this one. Sorry. Guys, we did it. We arrived at friendship, perhaps. I think that's great. Thank you, Sake. I just like Zan. He's a cool guy. You know? Yeah, I just like Zan a little bit. Yeah. Wasn't Eisenhower the president who signed the 40-hour work week into law? I genuinely don't know, actually. I know very, very little about the history of presidents before George W. Bush, because it doesn't come up that much anymore. It feels like, in a way, 2016 was this big political reset, if that makes any sense. Like, the dynamic, the political dynamic now is so different than it was pre-2016. I mean, you could see the signs coming, sure, but I feel like precedent matters a lot less. So I'm not as familiar with the stuff that came before it because it doesn't really come up that much. When I debate conservatives, they don't usually, like, defend Bush to me. They don't talk about Reagan. I've never talked about Reagan with a person who came on. Huggin, or Hugin, maybe. Thank you for the very kind $10. Did you see Mike from PA was on the Young Turks today? He has yet to ask them what a TIFF is. Ooh. Favoritism, Mike from PA. You have to ask everyone what a TIFF is, or it's not fair. Yeah, what a coward. Not asking TYT folks what a TIFF is. Yeah. Unbelievable. Vaughn took's the very kind $10. Gilead IRL territory. Damn. True. Weird puppy $10. Have you heard of Achilles Argyle? He had a Why We Need Racism vid that was taken down featuring his rant persona's gross feet. TBH, the funniest thing I've ever seen. No, I'm not familiar with this Achilles Argyle figure, but it seems like people in chat are all sorts of excited. Oh, here we go. Why We Need Racism from Achilles Argyle. Re-upload. Oh, I saw this one. Oh. Wait, the feet thing is real. Oh no! Why? Why do the feet get smelly? Why? And now they're clean? But why were they smelly? It's fetish art? This is why King shouldn't be in Pride. Yeah, maybe. This feels like a video that would be TOS on Twitch if I watched it. Like, he's just gonna start belting out slurs or something. This is the funniest fucking video. Please watch it. Ugh. I mean, seeing people say he does and he doesn't in chat. He says some pretty awful stuff, but not slurs. It is TOS. I'm getting a lot of mixed. It is TOS because the feet are drawings of stinky feet TOS on Twitch. Zan watched it live. I can do it. Ugh. Actual Jake had to censor it? Wait, what? Wait, censor it for what? Put your thing over the feet? Is the feet seriously the... Okay, I will censor the feet with my cam when it comes up, okay? Okay. All right. You people are infuriating. We're just doing it. All right. This video, I've been informed, Why We Need Racism by Achilles Argyle, a re-upload. Apparently the original one was deleted. Chat already seems to know about this video, and I haven't seen it, so...
Now, before you all grab your pitchforks and storm into the comments section over the title of the video alone, let me just say that of course racism is bad.
Oh.
I wouldn't make a 10-minute...
I guess we kind of did it then, didn't we? Did we win?
...video defending something so obviously terrible. Generations have been ruined because of racism, and lives are still getting destroyed by it. However, I don't think we should be painting racism as entirely evil, because, well, there's a reason why people are racist.
I'm covering the feet. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
And that's not because people want to be bad. It's because there are objective benefits to being racist. And I don't think we should be discrediting these benefits.
Wait, how can racism be bad, but then there are objective benefits to it? Or how do you take both sides of that? Like, it's bad, but also...
benefits with all this virtue signaling bullshit, because we are seriously reaching a low point in history without racism. A lot of people don't know this, but
why would you show Big Red in a conversation about racism? Big Red was talking about feminism. I guess it all just merges together, right?
Racism is actually the natural state for a lot of people, and has been for most of history. By forming exclusive groups, people are able to be amongst like-minded individuals, and the
Okay, hold on. All right, we're breaking this one down, baby. Okay, hold on. First of all, the idea that racism is a natural state of human beings is incorrect. Humans are naturally tribalistic, which is not the same as being racist. Tribalism can refer to anything. Your neighborhood, your city, your country, your gender, your sports team, your video game, your console, anything. Tribalism just means that you tend to form in groups, and the idea that that has to happen along racial lines is not in any way natural. I mean, think about most of human history. You know, for like hundreds of thousands of years, tribalism was called that because people organized themselves along tribes. But different tribes living in similar areas weren't different racial groups. They were just different tribes. You can argue there are some benefits to tribalism, but there are also times when it's extremely detrimental, like, say, all the wars that nationalism causes.
people infight significantly less. This is because people who think the same don't often come into conflict. Grouping together also provides a sense of pride. I mean, think about it. If you're surrounded by people like you, that think like you, and most importantly look like you, then you feel.
Why would looking like you be more important than thinking like you when it comes to getting along? That, I feel like we're projecting a few biases ourselves right now. First, he assumed that people of the same race are more likely to think the same. Is that an inherent ascription? Because there's no evidence of that, really. They tend to think the same because they share similar experiences, but that's only because we already have a racially tribalistic society. And then, how exactly is looking the same the common element here? Is that how people work? Is that how this person's like monkey brain functions? He he walks down the street and he finds a person who has like his hair color and eye color, and he's like, ah, I'm comforted by the presence of this individual. Probably not.
Feel like you belong. That's a good feeling. Segregation is an objective good in its utility because it leads to the formation of ethnostates, and ethnostates are historically proven to last longer than states that embrace polyethnicity.
Wait, is this a meme? Is this a troll? Is this a meme? I'm getting yeses and nos. I genuinely don't know. The stinky foot thing would suggest to me this is seriously, literally nobody knows. Curious.
I mean, look at China. They have over 5,000 years of history because they are discriminatory and wary of other races, while also cooperating with their own. As such,
there are like 50 ethnic groups in China. Like, at least. I mean, you can split them as many times as you want, but
the Chinese have been able to survive for as long as they have. China is an ethno-state, and referring to what I said earlier, an ethno-state with a racist population provides a sense of national pride and identity.
Okay, hold on. I'm pretty confident this is a meme. I'm done. This is a meme. The fact that they've already made internally contradictory arguments. No, I think this is a meme. This has to be a meme. All right, everyone, get ready for the feed again. We're not getting memed on today. There they are. I just want the stinky feet. You people are disgusting. There's the stinky feet, okay? Absolutely revolting. It's like sweaty, too. Christ. I don't think it's a meme. You've talked with people like this before. Nah, I'm getting the meme vibe. I'm feeling memes. I'm feeling memes. We're moving on. We're moving on. Everyone shut up. Please not. Nope, we're not watching it. Nope, you can watch it on your own time and contribute to the dislike train, even though it's been re-uploaded, so it's not even the original channel. This is what happened when Kingsters made videos, Vosh. What was that, what was the one, it was like the blue dragon? The guy, he was like, why we need racism or something? What was it? Which was that one? Cuthricks? Yeah, that one. Why we need child labor. That. Oh, no, yeah, the indefensive pedophiles one of the furry. Oh, God. I saw, when that video came out, I saw so many people, like, so many people in, like, furry art communities, porn communities, making fun of and disavowing it. It was really, really, really funny. Oh, God. Google rant sonas? I know what rant sonas are. We all know. I should make a rant sona. That's what I need to do. How do we... Does it have to be a furry rant sona, or can it just be like... Hold on. Okay, hold on. Nope. We're just gonna get the form down. Okay, hold on. That's not it. This is exactly what I look like. Hold on. How do you do... I can't do this with a mouse and keyboard. How do you do, like, your arms are crossed? Hold on. It's like, the chest muscles are here. Like that. Okay. The shoulders rise up, and then the arms fold in front. Like this. And then the forearms... Then you... Like this, right? We're just sketching, okay? And then all the guys, they have skinny legs, right? The, like, muscle guys, the triangle body. There we go. It's something like this, I think. Gotta be something like this. We draw the little pockets. The zipper. It's the tight jeans. There we go. I think we've got the basic formula down. The little ab muscles. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. There we go. I think that's good enough. You forgot the bulge? Sorry, we're on Twitch. I'm being careful. Cucked Twitch rules. Sorry, folks. There we go. It'd be something like this, right? Fix a leg? This is already flawless. How could I begin to fix it? Do I have to, like, make it a furry? Hold on. I've literally never drawn an animal in my life, okay? Hold on. That's like... I don't know. How do you draw? I don't know how to draw a goddamn... I literally don't know how to draw. Hold on. Let me just draw... Hold on. Furry, dog, anthro. Let me just see the base over here. God. I hate the way they tend to draw. Can I get, like, a good artist? Come on. No. 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 Definitely no. 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 Come on, real? We can't get, like, any... It's all, like, Pinterest fur affinity stuff. Can we get, like, a Like a professional? Use Vosh field? No, hold on. Okay. How do we... It's like... Oh, it's like beard or something, and it's like the nose is here, and then I have like little glasses, but it has to be like wide like this, and I don't know what the fuck I'm drawing right now. This is not a drawing with a mouse project, okay? This is a a drawing with a hand project, I think. Thankfully, the body can stay the same because of how furries work. Okay, good enough. We did it. Free me from this torment. I will never draw myself the way my body actually looks. Ever. Weren't we talking about politics? That was what we were... No, we were reading donos. Uppergoth, thank you for the very kind tier 1 sub. Skill Will, thank you for the $5. True. Jog and Jesse, thank you for the $10. God, that PragerU video is a train wreck. They completely ignored how East German politicians and residents contributed to the reunification of Germany. I mean, why would they say that? Skill Will and Mortimer, thank you for the $5 both. Really appreciate that. T-Jump was insane in that debate, saying you're a hypocrite based on his standards, not understanding perception reality is subjective. What a clown. There's so much coping in the comment section of the T-Jump debate. Yeah, that T-Jump guy is quite a wacky individual. I'll say that much. Raining Trees, thank you for the very kind $5. True, Zionism is anti-Semitic. Well, some people's anti-Zionism. Dr. Lenzo18, thanks the 666. Really appreciate that. Enjoying the Ayn Rand video you and Radical Reviewer did. Yeah, it was cute, I think. Pixel Motor and Erica, thank you for the tier 1 sub both. Really appreciate that. Absolutely, Pixel Motor. It'll be some time, though. Got to get everything put into place. Sake Tanuki with the very kind $10. Really appreciate that. I reserve every right to say I told you so if Kyle pulls a door heel turn. I'm absurdly disappointed about Kyle and Zan. They could be way better. 160 characters, not enough for nuance. I like 2+ layer arguments pushing the right leftward, where if challenged they can respond and thus stay left. No, I understand that. I don't think that Kyle is like gonna turn into door though. I just don't think that at all. Like Kyle has done so much for the left. The Justice Dems advocacy for you know, yeah. The no, I think Kyle's cool. I mean, I disagree with him on some stuff, but I'm fairly confident in his convictions. But I mean, hey, if anyone ends up going down that line, we'll be there to criticize him, right? What matters most is that we stay true to ourselves, right? Kim Jong Daddy, thank you for the incredibly kind $25. Thanks for the content and the education, handsome long hair man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Here, just to keep you folks entertained while I finish reading these donos, which were already quite near being done. My hair is still wet, so it doesn't have as much volume as it should. Yes, I've read the Sandman comics. Hokey Salem, thank you for the 2 $5 donations. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's been a lot of fun. And thoughts on the Vanguard? I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. Aries C, thank you for the $10. Have you seen that story today about the mass grave under the residential school? Yeah, I talked about it yesterday. The video will be up today. Which will be pretty hoggies. My headache it's not there anymore, but I'm still tired. God. Needless Noise, thank you for the very kind $10. Yes, I saw my sub being mad at me for being too nice to Krystal and Kyle. My sub, at this point, I think, is full of people who hate me. So, yeah. I feel like my sub chomps at the bit a little more than it used to. And that is, in all likelihood, I imagine, at least in part, because there are other prominent subreddits full of people who strongly dislike me, who brigade there often. And if you take a look at the comment history of many of the most critical comments, you can see them populating other streamers' subreddits. You know. Vaughn, to be fair, Vosh, they can be fans and still disagree. Oh, it's not the disagreeing I have an issue with. Some people are just fucking crazy. There were people in the subreddit being like, Vosh went super easy on Krystal and Kyle because he's fundamentally a grifter who doesn't care. I think that got linked right here. Yeah, hold on. I have full access to the full podcast from Substack, and Vosh was slobbering all over their knobs by the end of it. I like both Krystal and Kyle, but frankly, that was just embarrassing. You all can go watch it. I don't think that was descriptive of the content of the... It was pretty... Yeah. Then the reply, it doesn't surprise me. Vosh wants popularity and fame above anything. Like, these are the top comments in a subreddit post. It's pretty clear. It's pretty silly, you know, discourse. Slightly silly. A little bit. True. I think the sub is populated by hate viewers. Well, I try not to ban many people in the sub. The only times people get banned in the sub is if they're spamming, they're doing, like, obvious hate baiting, and every once in a while, I go in there, get annoyed, and ban, like, 2 people who I don't like. So, you know, there's that. But beyond that, I feel like it's pretty open moderation. 1984, true. Mowgli, thank you for the very kind 2 months up. Hey, King, opinion on the GTA series. In your opinion, what's the best game in the series or game that was most critical of society? I love you, dude. I don't like the GTA series that much. I never really have. To me, GTA's satire of society has always come off like South Park tier shit to me, you know? Oh man, everything's so crazy and all the people involved in this have such crazy opinions, so many crazy people here, you know? Just living our lives and like super irreverent and stuff like that. That's not to say they're bad games. It's just not something that I'm necessarily a fan of. Yeah. The problem is that real satire of American society would make the type of people who buy GTA uncomfortable. GTA is super mega popular. Any real criticisms that are meant to challenge people's preconceived beliefs are going to make it like the subject of a lot of hatred from the people who expect not to be criticized in those videos. Which means that the types of criticisms GTA is going to levy is always going to be irreverent, like everyone's stupid but me, society sucks, society's bullshit type shit, but never real criticisms of like racism or sexism or whatever that meaningfully impugn broader institutions. So it just feels a little bit like, you know, that's not to say it's necessarily bad, but yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. All right, we're almost done. Speed Weenie, thank you so much for the incredibly kind $25. So proud of you for your PCRF stream. Love you and the community. Here are some baby photos for everyone's enjoyment. And you gave me a link to nowhere, but it does have your Twitter account here, so maybe I can just find the... Yes, I think I have found the babies, even though you fucked up the link. Tiny face. What a beautiful baby. And heterochromatic as well. Tiny pupils, because there's so much light. You know, speaking of delightful baby behavior, you know what Artemy loves to do? Whenever I have the air conditioner running, he likes to sit behind it and just lick the vents. I think he just likes the condensation that forms. It's gross. But he'll like park himself back there and like resist attempts at extracting him. So, thank you for the wonderful babies. All right, hold on. Last roll. I was a bit disappointed that you were dishonest when confronting Kyle. What dishonesty? You've said dishonesty twice here, but what was I dishonest about? King Mees, if I remember. And Arco Wiener, thank you for the $8. Fan art. I love fan art.
Nice meme. Nice.
I'm gonna keep this up here as a response to when King Me responds to what I have to say. This is great, by the way. I love it. We have to keep this up as a dono sound. This might actually be a good dono sound. This is pretty usable for those purposes. Yeah, retweet it if you want to see. I'm waiting for the King Me's response. We have to play it. We have to get ready. Oh. They asked you of your criticism and you said pretty much nothing. Just Sagar, not you, and okay, good refutation. While on stream you went for an hour attacking her. Wait, that's not dishonesty. Choosing not to get into every criticism I have isn't dishonesty. It just means that I don't think that was an environment where I could be rhetorically effective while making those criticisms, especially given the broader environment in the discussion, things being relatively calm, good faith, jokey both ways. To suddenly get into it and then forcing her to defend like the specific content of specific videos seemed like it would lead things down a road that would alienate more people from my perspective and thus make it harder to make my points. So instead, rather than criticize her for like doing bad things, I got her to agree with affirmative positions that I made that would invalidate a lot of the bad stuff that she'd done in the past. Basically trying to build up, like, in her audience, the ability to recognize what's wrong in some of the stuff that she's done in the past. That was the goal, basically. That's not dishonesty. That's just different rhetoric for different situations. Or, in summary...
Nice meme.
All right. Having a little bit too much fun today. A little bit of trolling, as it were. And then because we're still not picking up super chats in the goddamn feed, I need to reconnect that. Chat doesn't give a fuck about rhetoric, apparently. Well, unfortunately, the problem is that I am a bit debate lordy, and that means that a lot of people get used to that rhetoric on stream. But the rhetoric that you use when criticizing something on stream is so different than the rhetoric that you should use when talking to a person, like in an interview environment. Bosh, I know what you're saying, but the issue is just how different you showed yourself. It's dishonest to come off as a pal when you're attacking your character behind her back. I don't think it's behind her back. I mean, I've done everything publicly. I invite everyone, I even spoke to her about this before the recording started, to take a look at how I've talked about her in the past. As, yeah, like, I don't know if it's behind her back when there are videos with 250,000 views, you know. Now, I guess to some people that can come off as weaselly, but, like, if she had said, hey, you said this about me in the past, I would have like stuck to that. I just didn't think that was the like appropriate avenue. Think of it this way. If I had think of all the things that I've said about Jordan Peterson. I've said a lot about Jordan Peterson. Whew, a lot of mean stuff. But if I had the opportunity to speak to him in an academic environment, like if we were both in a podium and it was a public speech or something, I wouldn't be like, okay, so first of all, you literally endorse neo-Nazi rhetoric. This is the exact same, like, you know, like people can go back and see those criticisms they want, and maybe they'll think it's dishonest of me to change my tone from bit to bit, but I feel like there's not really much other choice. There actually is a solution. The solution is for me to never be hyperbolic in condemning people when there's a possibility I might be able to amicably speak to them in the future. But that would mean I could basically never go hard against anyone who, you know, like that, like anyone potentially, which I mean, maybe that's why a lot of people do that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why so many people online are very leveled with so many criticisms, even if they can go way harder. It's because they do want to avoid, yeah, do. True. We're never going to get through these donos if we keep getting baited. Hold on. Did this. Alan Tagg, thank you for the $2. Jacob Lopez, thank you for the very kind $10. In one of your streams, you said racists will never claim any race is superior/inferior, but I can't find the clip. Could you clarify what you mean by that? I don't think I said will never. It's just that almost never happens. Racists will very rarely say, ah, yes, white people are the superior race. Even neo-Nazis don't say that. Richard Spencer didn't say that. Stefan Molyneux didn't say that. Instead, they'll say, all races have their ups and downs, their different predilections. And then they'll go on to say, white people are good at building civilization, law, communication, art, history, society. And black people are good at basketball and rhyming words. No. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I just think that we all have our different... That's what they tend to do. That's the line they tend to run, you know? Very rarely will they just say one is better than the other, because that's the easiest thing to criticize. Darkfen, thank you for the $5. It was my pleasure. Rad with the 250 AED. Thank you. Joshua Esokenthen, thank you for the $5. Can you compare and contrast Michael Brooks' interactions with Sagar versus Krystals? I've never seen an interaction between Michael Brooks and Sagar, so I wouldn't know. But I imagine Michael Brooks wouldn't go anywhere near as easy as Krystal does. Tyler Blanchard, thank you for the very kind $5. I don't know. We'll see if the UFO stuff goes anywhere. Iridian Knight, Bragwin, and Mythos Bluefish, thank you all very much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that. Typing Hazard and Chris P. Bacon, thank you for the $5 both. Very much appreciate that. Really kind of you. Jesus Bredova, thank you for the $5. Smelly Feet OP, they knock me right out. Melissa McDonald, thank you for the $10. Eisenhower taxed the uber wealthy at 90%. It's how we got our interstates and highways built. Yeah, now we can barely afford to pay the taxes to keep the roads up. Spinosaurus, the proud socialist Egypticius, with the $5. Hey man, you look great with your hair down. Love you and Kyle. I like Krystal better when she's not with Sagar. Yes. Krystal's, it's not necessarily apologetics for Sagar. It's just she doesn't push back hard enough in a lot of those things. But yes. And Melissa Silvas, thank you for the $5. Darling, don't let them tell you you ain't queer enough. Yeah, we're all competing with the gay. You know how it is. Oh man. Donos to Streamlabs and to YouTube chat don't get picked up by the website anymore. We have to work on that. Huh. Horny Huntsman, thank you for the very kind $15. Love you too, comrade. Australia is not a real country, but I'll keep up with your delusion for the sake of being kind for this dono. Joe Schmo, thank you for the very kind $5. Himbo Hooters, thank you likewise. Really appreciate that. I think we're going to be talking with Paul's Ego sometime in the near future. Stoles with $3. This is insane. A police department is keeping a convicted murderer on payroll. I'll give it a look. Muss Eater, thank you for the $5. You already have a rant, Sona. It's Voshfield. I put no effort into that. We can do better, I think. And Aqua Fractaline, thank you for the $5. I actually started to draw you a Persona, but stopped because I didn't think you would want it. Lol, should I email you with what I have so far? You can do whatever you want. I don't mind people doing any fan art of me. Go right ahead. All right. We've caught up. And that means we can talk politics. If you think you're ready for it, do you think you are? You think you're capable? Do you believe? I don't know. I don't think chat's ready for it, personally. Oh, well. You guys knew this one was coming, didn't you? Senate Republicans filibuster January 6th inquiry bill blocking an investigation. The vote killed the best chance for an independent accounting of the deadly Capitol attack, which Republicans feared would damage them politically. Yes, I know. Republicans on Friday blocked the creation of an independent commission to investigate the January 6th Capitol riot using their filibuster power in the Senate. Love that filibuster, by the way. For the first time this year to doom a full accounting of the deadliest attack on Congress in centuries. The vote was a stark display of loyalty to former President Donald J. Trump and political self-interest by Republicans determined to shield themselves from an inquiry that could tarnish their party. That's surprisingly direct language for the New York Times. Much appreciated, I guess. They feared an investigation that would remind voters of the consequences of Mr. Trump's election lies and how Republican lawmakers indulged them, spurring their supporters to violence. Now, you kind of know how the rest of this is going to go. It seems like everything we're reading right now is a pretty self-evident conclusion of the information that was made available to us, well, months ago. So I wanted to talk for just a little bit with you about the situation that we're in with the Republican Party, okay? So let's not mince words here, all right? The Republican Party is in favor of what took place at the Capitol. They are in favor of it, okay? We're now at the point of the Republican Party's endorsement of terrorism being equivalent to that Schrodinger's asshole situation. The kind of guy who would tell an offensive joke and then decide whether or not it's a joke based on the responses of the people around him. If they like it, he was serious. If not, then not. The Republican Party is utterly and completely committed to the destruction of democracy. It's evident in everything they push for in government, making it harder to vote, obstructing voting specifically to target certain groups of people which favor them, the suppression of laws and of rules and mandates which make it easier for people to access a vote, the complete and absolute stonewalling of any serious voter reform, which they're categorically opposed to, and the fact, first and foremost, that they continue to lie about the fact that Donald Trump lost that election. I've said this before about fascists, and I use that term with great severity in its application to the Republican Party, but they don't actually believe in anything called empirical truth. They don't actually believe that there's a such thing as a committed person with a dedicated set of beliefs that they will adhere to, even if it's politically inconvenient. To them, reality is whatever they want it to be. That's the reason why the whole Republican Party was against Trump. They said horrible things about Trump back in 2015, 2016, but then as soon as he grew to power, all of them fell in line. And I mean all of them. It's actually insane when you look through the quotes and statements made by all of these Republican officials that are currently lapdogs of Trump. All the stuff they said about him back then. They don't really have principles. They just follow power, which unfortunately is a fairly effective political strategy, even if it's horribly destructive and unethical. They really don't mind being dominated by somebody like Trump, or really by any autocrat who just happens to luck into public power. They just like being part of that wave. They like being part of that ride. They want to be in the in-group. It's honestly really similar to a lot of what took place back in, I'm going to say it, Nazi Germany. If you look at the specifics, the internal dynamics within the Nazi Party, there actually was a lot of disunity in terms of military strategy, governance, rhetoric, the ways in which they wanted to consolidate their rule. But as it became more and more clear that Hitler was going to be the guy, they just fell in line. Now, the Capitol riot, some people say the Capitol riot was a huge, serious deal. Some people say it was funny. It's obviously both. I don't know why this is a one or the other thing. It was funny. It was very, very funny. And it was also pretty scary. Not because the outcome of that particular riot was ever going to be a conquering of the government, okay? I don't think anyone's ever seriously made that argument. The problem is Republicans will back the next one, too. Like, this time, it was just a crowd of rioters that were egged on by the president and by the dishonest right-wing media. The next time, it may be a paramilitary group. The next time, it may be snipers. The next time, they may actually get some Republican or Democrat congresspeople. It could be a bomb planted. There were pipe bombs found at the Capitol riots that we still haven't attributed, the people responsible for. They still haven't found that. It could be anything next. It could be a military insurgency. Whatever happens, the Republican Party will back it, to be totally, totally clear. And they will make fun of people who point out its severity. I say this with full confidence. If there was a military detachment or even a paramilitary group that was wandering Washington, blowing out like buildings and like taking shots from rooftops, the Republicans would be downplaying it as it took place, accuse any actual kills of being the product of Antifa, and then publicly endorsing or working with figures who were responsible for the organization of those militants. That's all gonna happen. It will happen. Because the Republican Party is completely on board with the destruction of our democracy. And that's what's happening now. This inquiry was probably never going to change anything because the evidence that the Republican Party enabled, facilitated, and supported this is already pretty self-evident, you know? Like, we already know. What information could they bring up that condemns the Republican Party more, you know? Would it have led to actual trials? I sincerely doubt it, because of the way these things tend to work. And the Republicans would have, in the just sheer face of things, would have blocked any meaningful action taking place after the fact anyway. It is funny, though. I will say this. It is extremely funny how gung-ho all the people on the right were saying that all the violence was done by Antifa, but now they're blocking an investigation. Because they never actually believed that. All the far-right people saying, this is Antifa, this is an Antifa false flag. Now they don't want an investigation because they never believed it to begin with. They never actually believed it. They don't think you believe anything either. In the mind of a fascist, what needs to be said, the truth that needs to be told, is suited entirely for the moment. It doesn't have to have anything to do with reality or the truth that was the case the day before or the day after. It's just the truth for today. What's that quote from Sartre? You know, the anti-Semite loves to engage in bad faith debate because they don't believe in words. Spectacular quote. Absolutely spectacular stuff. And it remains true. They don't believe in words. The Republican Party has never believed in words. Well, at least not since the Trump administration. There are some levels of commitment to good faith discourse that existed beforehand, but I think now they have completely abandoned that. Is it not Sartre? How do you want me to pronounce this? Because every time I get told it's a different way. Just Sartre? 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 Satri, perhaps. Maybe I'm the one who doesn't believe in words, huh? Bosh, who cares, lol. Apparently a lot of people. Look. This is going to keep happening until the Republican Party is made politically irrelevant. There is no getting around it. There's no working across the aisle. There's no finding some shared truth because they don't believe in one. They will continue to do what they're doing until we're all dead. I think that most Republican voters probably don't know this. They don't believe this. I'm not of the opinion that the mass of Republican voters themselves are as committed to this absolutely nihilistic rejection of empiricism. At least not to the same extent as the people they elect. I think power does this to people. You know? It's one of the reasons people hate Bernie Sanders. Other politicians, I mean. Now, Bernie Sanders is a man with principles, if I've ever seen one. What was he doing in the 70s? The same shit he's been doing today. Exact same stuff. Guy hasn't changed at all. He loses the hair and he keeps the talking points. Bernie Sanders, he knows what he believes and he's been saying it for longer than I've been alive. Consistency king. True. But I think a lot of people that get into power, and they have convictions when they get in there, but slowly, over time, they make these sacrifices. They make sacrifices to power. Think of Hillary Clinton. Nobody's born evil. I don't think much of Hillary Clinton these days. But she's been in the seat of power for a fairly long time, or adjacent to it at the very least. And I think that over time, bit by bit by bit, you make these little sacrifices. You used to be principled on this thing, but now nothing gets done if you act like that. You have to... I'm not comfortable phrasing this thing this way to the journalists. This feels dishonest, but everyone else does it, and if I don't do it, there will be a field day in the news media, and it's all going to focus on me, and it's not going to be good. It's a misfocus. I have to do this. I have to do this. And you have to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And eventually, you're empty. And the only real difference between the old Republican Party and the new one is that it used to be that process took time. Now people enter empty. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, Madison Cawthorn, they enter empty. They adopt all the rhetoric, all the nihilism, all the shallow talking points of the Republican Party. And because they're internally inconsistent, it just boils in their head and in their brain until there's nothing left. And then they get into government. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It sounds like armchair psychology, but this is a fairly studied component of the, I don't know, the mentality, the thought processes behind fascism. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the future of the Republican Party. We cannot allow the party to continue to exist as it does now. Oh, and by the way, Manchin failed to vote on this. In case you were still on the fence about this guy. Wanted to be bipartisan in his appealing for a committee to investigate. Yeah, so did Cinema. Yep. Critical support for fascism. Yeah. Well, anyway. My opinion on this dude is a fucking roller coaster. It shouldn't be a roller coaster. Manchin sucks. The GOP will never be pushed to irrelevancy, not with half the country on their side. Thankfully, it's not half. In terms of people who, like, support the Republican position, it's closer to, I think, like 62-38 in favor of us. I think it's like, do you think that Donald Trump should have won or won the election? Like, they're the minority, the Republican Party, but there are handicaps in their favor, like the Electoral College and the ways they gerrymander and the ways they abuse our voting system. So, Novashi did vote for it. He was there. Is that true? Hold on. And the article saying that he wasn't there. Was I reading the wrong thing? Oh, I'm so sorry. I had a huge brain cuck out. My bad. West Virginia's U.S. Senator failed vote on January 6th, unconscionable. I'm so sorry. Lefty misinfo. My bad. Somebody DM'd this to me on Discord, and I read the headline. I was like, oh, yeah. That's my bad. My apologies. All right. Lefty misinfo. That's my bad boy point for today. I guess, actually, we love Joe Manchin, you know? It was Cinema who didn't show up to vote. Okay, well, let's see. Hold on. Alphabetical by senator's name. Let's see. We got a Republican who didn't vote, another Republican who didn't vote, another Republican who didn't vote. A lot of Republicans not voting, these cowards. Do you think that Cinema is going to rerun as a Republican in the future? Because she seems to be doing everything in her power to alienate Democrats. Maybe sometime down the line. Or like she stops running and just like gets the same cushy Fox position that Tulsi Gabbard is fighting for. Murray didn't vote either. From Washington? Uh-oh. 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 Murray had a family emergency, if I recall correctly. Is that the reason why? Hold on, it should be listed here, I think. Let me see if I can find. Yes, that is my senator. Murray, investigation, Capitol riot. Yes, Patty Murray and Kirsten Sinema didn't vote. Hold on. Do we have a reason why Murray didn't vote? Murray said she supported the commission but had to fly home for a personal family matter. Cinema also supported the bill, but didn't say why she missed Friday's vote. Ooh. Senators frequently skip votes when the outcome is not in doubt. It's kind of lame but normal. I feel like this is something where a very direct expression of support is kind of necessary. That wouldn't have changed the outcome. Honest question from a German. What use is the differentiation between nay and not voting when both do the same? Virtue signal. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, yeah. At least we didn't get any Democrat nays. Optics, I guess. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't actually mean anything. No, I know Murray is a good senator. If there's an actual family reason, then there's an actual family reason. It wouldn't have made a difference. Even if Sinema and Murray had showed up and voted yay, it wouldn't have changed the outcome. What we need to do here is get rid of the filibuster. That would be nice. Do you think the 62-38 thing is a good indicator of trending left? I feel like most of that is populous cities. Yeah, well, the country has never been majority Republican, like not for the past couple decades. Who are the Republicans? Portman said yay. Sassy said yay. Collins said yay. Sussy. The Sussy Baka said yay. Yeah. They didn't even need this vote because the Democrats already controlled all the investigatory bodies, including the Senate Oversight Committee. Do you think they're going to go ahead? Is there work they're going to do from that? I have a feeling nothing is going to happen on account of the Capitol riot investigations. All the information that we have is like already fairly evident. It feels like the only reason they would go forward with it would be to like, oh God, do you think that the Democrats actually have the balls to go up there and say, no, you're being expelled? I don't even know what the process for that would allow. I feel like the intricacies of like congressional procedure are a little bit beyond me right now. If we did an investigation on Republicans, what would need to be done to expel them from Congress? Because there were already motions to expel Marjorie Taylor Greene. That didn't happen. Yeah, you need 2/3 for somebody to be expelled. That's not going to happen. The Republicans are never, ever, ever going to vote to expel one of their own. Ever. It's never going to happen. So what process could actually... They would have to be actually arrested, wouldn't they? It wouldn't be enough to try to get them expelled. They would need actual criminal charges and then to actually be arrested, wouldn't they? Yeah. We need to pick a 2022 Senate race and canvass the fuck out of it. Yeah, that'd be nice. They'd still be sitting members even if arrested? Wait, is that true? Even if you're arrested, you're still a sitting member? You can't vote then, can you? Wait, hold on. Can arrested Congress people vote? Can Congress members be arrested? They shall in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. So, wait, except for treason, felony, and breach of the peace. Wouldn't what they be charged with be felony or treason? Like, we're talking felony charges, aren't we? So in that case, they might be. I didn't know that Congress people had like privilege from arrest. I actually didn't know that. That's crazy. Expulsion from U.S. Congress. Hold on, this is important. We should learn this. Expulsion is the most serious form of disciplinary action that can be taken about a member of Congress. The U.S. Constitution provides that each House of Congress may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3 expel a member. Yeah, the 2/3 is never going to happen. The processes for expulsion differ somewhat between the House of Representatives and the Senate. Yeah, if this is just for expulsion, this is never, ever, ever going to happen. In the entire history of the U.S. Congress, 20 members have been expelled. William Blount was expelled for treason and conspiracy to incite a rebellion of Creek and Cherokee to aid the British in conquering the Spanish territory of West Florida. Yeah, that'll get you expelled. And then all these people were Confederates. And then, so only 3 people, if we leave out the Civil War, only 3 people have been expelled. Expelled after being convicted of bribery in connection with the Abscom scandal, and then expelled after he was convicted on 10 counts, including bribery, racketeering, and tax evasion. Both Democrats. Sussy Bakas. And censures basically do nothing, right? A censure is a formal and public group condemnation. Oh, okay, that's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet the reason why the only 2 people to have been kicked out are Democrats is because Democrats are the only ones disciplined enough and, like, principled enough to actually vote for the expulsion of people on their party if they do something wrong. Republicans could find out that one of their congresspeople was, like, a convicted child sex trafficker, and they still wouldn't vote for their expulsion. Yeah. Now what about, hold on. History of criminal charges against congressmen. Legislator misconduct database. List of American federal politicians convicted of crimes. Not from our presidency. No, I'm looking for, yeah. Legislative branch. Chris Collins pleaded guilty to insider trading. Duncan D. Hunter pleaded guilty to misuse of campaign funds. And then what happened after that? New York politician. In 2017, the criminal investigation began. He spent campaign funds on extramarital affairs with 5 women. Wait, okay, I have a real question, okay? If you're a politician, especially a Republican politician, you're probably rich as fuck. Why are you spending campaign money on cheating on people? Why not just use your own money? Are you that greedy? Like, you seriously can't drop, like, the couple thousand of your own dollars to, like, buy hotel rooms? They're that greedy. It needs to come out of the campaign funds. Jesus. He changed his plea to guilty on 1 count of misusing campaign funds. He submitted letters of resignation to Nancy Pelosi. Then he was sentenced to 11 months in prison. And then he got pardoned by President Donald Trump in December 2020 after Trump lost the election. We should not let presidents do pardons after the results of the last election. Well, he did sign letters of resignation, but that was of his own volition. If he was sentenced to 11 months in prison, would he have had to have quit Congress? Okay, here's the Barack Obama presidency. Hold on. I just want to see if there's any evidence. Yeah, can you be a member of Congress in prison? Is that true? Oh, this guy was also pardoned by Trump. In 2008, he was indicted on charges of money laundering, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. In 2010, he pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice. In 2020, President Trump pardoned him. This person was convicted a decade ago. Damn, really clearing out the swamp here. Jesus. He was indicted in the federal district court on 5 counts. He pleaded not guilty, but as part of a plea deal, he pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice. Sentenced to a year and a day in prison. The group for which Siljander worked as an unregistered foreign agent was the Islamic American Relief Agency, a Missouri-based Islamic charity with ties to terrorism. During the Bush era, too. It was added to the Treasury Department's list of global terror organizations due to the links to Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. And then Trump pardoned him, praising his anti-abortion record. Cool. Is there any precedent of a congressperson continuing to do congressional work from prison? I just want to know. Oh God, the tabs? Yeah, shut up. It's my stream. Fuck you. She broke federal law, violated House rules, and obstructed the committee's own investigation. She was found guilty on 7 counts of violating House rules by improperly pressuring her staff to campaign for her, destroying evidence, and tampering with witness testimony. Richardson was ordered to pay a fine of $10,000 within 4 months and promised to require staffers who work in her campaign to sign a waiver stating they haven't been pressured to do so. The committee also called on the full House to reprimand Richardson. The following day, they reprimanded. Okay, so nope, again, nothing. Jesse Jackson Jr., all right. Financial improprieties, including campaign funds. He resigned from Congress, citing mental and physical health problems, including bipolar disorder and gastrointestinal problems. Hey, be bipolar and shitting yourself. Okay. Well, he resigned before he went to prison, so it's not relevant. This guy was sentenced 3 years in prison. On January 20th, 2021, he was pardoned by President Donald Trump. Did he just run back and pardon every... I guess he did. Can a senator serve in Congress after a conviction in court? As the Robert Menendez trial winds down, the New Jersey Congressional Caucus faces an odd scenario if the senator is convicted of political corruption charges. Should Menendez remain in office if he is found guilty and then appeals the case? For now, the Menendez defense team is arguing their client is not guilty for various reasons, blah, 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 blah. But in the scenario where he's convicted, his team would definitely appeal and likely cite the McDonald case. The ratification of the 17th Amendment in 1913 changes how vacancies are filled in the Senate. It allows a state legislator to determine if a governor can appoint a replacement to serve out a 6-year term, to serve temporarily until a special election can be held, or to hold a special election directly to choose a replacement. In New Jersey, replacement for a senator is picked out by the governor until a special election can be held. Okay, but this isn't answering... In 2015, the Congressional Research Service detailed the scenario of a senator who remained in office after a conviction. There is no express constitutional disability or disqualification from Congress for the conviction of a crime other than under the 14th Amendment for certain treasonous conduct after having taken an oath in office. Oh, Jesus Christ, this country is fucked. Then there's no way. There's no way to remove them. They're never going to be expelled because that would require Republicans to vote for their expulsion. It's never going to happen. You need 2/3. And the only way they're going to be actually disbarred from Congress on account of their conviction is if it's for treason. What qualifies treason, though? Treason has a very specific legal definition when you're talking about actual legal charges. Why won't Dems get rid of the filibuster? Because they're cucked. But also, that wouldn't solve this problem. The filibuster isn't what needs the 2/3 majority. That's just what it takes to expel a senator. Yeah, you have to, like, aid a hostile foreign power. It's beyond that. Look at the list of people Trump pardoned. Yeah, no, yeah, okay, we're a bit off in the weeds right now. Yeah, okay. Jesus, this country. If a legislator lost their seat for being convicted by the executive, it'd be bad for separation of powers. You're not you're not convicted by the executive branch. If a criminal court finds you guilty for felony charges, then the the separation of powers isn't like, yeah, that would be the judicial branch. I mean, the executive branch enforces the rulings of the judicial branch, but then you're like there are limitations to this. You can't say like, oh, separation of powers, Congress people should be immune to the law. You know, like obviously, couldn't they still be arrested and unable to vote from prison? No, no, no. The provision specifically says that except in cases of treason, that the prison will not bar a congressperson or a senator from fulfilling their duties, which is insane. I mean, does sedition count as treason with regards to removal from office? I mean, I don't know. I need to read into it more, but yeah, yeah, they have to be in Congress to vote. Treason is a little sus. All right, do we feel nice and black-pilled now? Yeah, Trump issued 143 pardons, 1 in 2017, 6 in 2018, 8 in 2019, 12 in 2020, and 116 in January 2021. So you could, like, murder somebody and still be a senator? Yes. Yes, 100%. Yes, you could. In fact, if I'm understanding these rules correctly, you could slaughter all of the other senators in the Senate, be arrested, convicted, and then remain a senator. That might be treason. Depending, no, the legal definition of treason is pretty, hold on. Legal definition of treason. A very rare but serious crime defined as intentionally betraying one's allegiance by levying war against the government or giving aid and comfort to its enemies. Depending on the judge and jury, that might not be read as treason, unironically, especially depending on like the prevailing context of the situation. Until they're replaced and the new senators expel you. I genuinely think that if it was a Republican who did like some mass legislative slaughter, that the new Republicans still wouldn't vote you out. I actually do believe that. I genuinely believe that. I really don't think there's a bar that Republicans won't sink to. I know exactly if a standing Republican senator killed like 20 Democratic senators, was arrested, convicted, etc. You know why the Republicans wouldn't vote to expel once the new Democratic senators rolled in? They wouldn't vote to expel. They would turn it into a media circus. They would be like, you just want us to expel because he was a Republican. We condemn his actions, but this is a witch hunt against conservative values, and we will not kowtow to the liberal mob, you know. And then there will be people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk who will be like, wasn't the left the one who said we shouldn't be as tough on crime or something like that? Like there'd be like crazy shit like that, you know? They would say the trial that he got wasn't fair when he was convicted. They'll say, then they'll be like, here's a shooter who got a fair trial. The left had no problem with it. Here's this guy's trial. The left is mad. Like, what do you, yeah, like exactly, you know, it would do the same thing. Vosh, you don't believe that? Come on. I 100% believe everything that I am saying right now. I am with complete and utter sincerity, 100%. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. The Republican legislature are monsters. They're absolute monstrous people. God. Well, you know. You know how it is. Sorry, I'm reading something on the Reddit. Oh, that's nice. Somebody posted the larger discussion with Krystal, Kyle, and friends, and here is what they said. Well, they said some stuff. I think Vosh hit most of his points. I think he could have been more specific on his disagreements with Rising. Yeah, fair. And then he said, I feel like many of the comments under the Krystal video lack the context of the rest of the discussion to make it seem as if Vosh is backtracking on positions when his rhetoric wasn't any different here than any stream video. Nice. Okay, all right. There were a lot of hardcore Malders. You know, I got to make sure I've got my my axioms grounded every once in a while. You know how it is. You know, I think that I should probably read donations. I'm so out of it. Are you posting a copy of it? No, it's their content. Video games tonight or nah? I never do 2 streams at the same time. Or on the same day, sorry. Hold on. Let's just catch up real quick. Boy Meets Many, thanks the gifted 2 and sub. Matthew H25, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. I told you Krystal was going to talk about the stuff you said about her. And number 2, what are your thoughts on Krystal Ball now? Okay. So, do you guys remember after I talked with Tim Pool and I said, guys, I don't think Tim Pool's a grifter, and some people got mad at me? That was not meant to be a compliment. I hope you guys understand that. Because I think a lot of people think grifter means bad person. So when I said I don't think Tim Pool's a grifter, what they were hearing was I actually think Tim Pool's an all right guy. That was not the implication of the statement. The implication was, no, he actually believes this. Now, since then, Vadim, Creationist Cat, made a really good video which really challenges the idea I had that he was sincere about a lot of the stuff that he said. Is that better or worse? Well, hold on. Anyway, the point is a lot of people didn't take that from me the way I intended it. And the Vadim video is very good. Tim Poolocalypse, which you should all watch, by the way. But I will say this about Krystal Ball, okay? One of the reasons why I want to avoid the grifter criticism in the future is because, again, it's non-falsifiable. It's not a defensible position when I attack people. If they call me to that, I don't actually have a way of proving it. It just makes me look like really spiteful, which hurts the position. With Krystal Ball, for a long time, I thought the only way that she could let Sauger get away with the things that he did, because that was like 90% of the criticism, right? It was that Sauger would say some insane shit, and then she would be too light in it, or lead into it, or always try to find like the shared position when there was a lot to condemn there. I thought there was no way a person could do that without grifting. But I don't believe that anymore. Now, this isn't a statement on whether or not a person is or isn't a grifter, because I'm trying to stick away from those claims from now on. But having spoken with more people and watched more stuff, I think it's entirely possible for people to have wildly different assessments of the relative threat levels of different problems our society faces. So Krystal Ball and I can agree on almost every prescriptive position, but I may be more worried about disingenuous right populism than she is, and she might be more worried about finding bipartisanship and anti like corporate elites than I am. And for that reason, we have the same prescriptive beliefs, and we look at the same reality, but we come to wildly different conclusions as to how we should treat it. That's how I want to approach it from now on. Not to be less critical of the arguments or positions, but to approach it with the belief that someone is doing their best. Because you make your best criticisms when you're charitable anyway. This is something that I have a lot of trouble with because I'm very funny when I'm doing the hard dunks. And that's not to say we shouldn't ever do hard dunks. It's that we should find ways to do it in a way that contextualizes and understands the worldview that they might have to arrive at those positions. You know? Like, I'll give you an example, okay? You guys never saw this because this was before I had a channel, but back when I was a young baby feminist, I would talk about incels the way, like, your average lefty would talk about incels. These gross virgin men just hate women, etc., etc., you know? like, yeah, they're just gross and they hate men. They're gross, nasty. A lot of people talk about incels like that. And by the way, if you go on incel forums, they are pretty disgustingly misogynistic. But now I think, okay, I can imagine a person who arrives at the conclusions a lot of the people on these forums do, while still being at heart a reasonable human being. I don't have to dehumanize them. I don't have to strip them of their intelligence, agency, or sincerity to imagine them arriving at the position they have now. So now my arguments against incel stuff is what are they're way better. Way, way, way better. I would argue they're almost bulletproof, frankly. The incel stuff, I would feel comfortable arguing these positions against anyone, anywhere, at any time, because I feel like I understand the mind of the person who would move to those positions. That's the ultimate sign of rhetorical effectiveness, being able to completely understand the mind of a person who disagrees with you. And I'm trying to get better at that with time. Talking with Shuon Head has helped me with this a little bit, because Shuon Head, as you've probably noticed, does have different positions than I do on some things, not because we have different values, but because we assess the threat of different situations, instances, institutions differently. And while I'm still on my side and she is on hers and these positions we disagree on, I think I understand her perspective better, and I think that makes it easier for me to argue against those positions. Which is why, and you may have noticed this, over the past year and a half, I've gone from my Nosbel Vortex comments being extremely hyperbolically, vicious and condemnation and blah blah. Whereas nowadays, my comments are more like, guys, we can't do this. You have to understand there's nothing antithetical about adopting intersectional progressivism and fighting for workers' rights. They are not opposed to each other. Don't buy into the corporate propaganda. Don't buy into the nonsense that the virtue signaling corporate consumer fake woke stuff that means that being progressive is being pro-corporate. I understand the position now, at least better, so I can argue against it better. Does that make sense? Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So that's the argument, and I'm going to try to do that with people on the left from now on, unless I get really, really angry, in which case I abandon everything that I just said, and we're going to go right back to being a bloodthirsty lunatic when we condemn them. So that's as long as we stay calm, you know. God, what game are you going to play next? We're finishing 120 stars in Super Mario 64, and then we're going to finish Banjo-Kazooie. We should watch more Newsmax clips. You're right. We absolutely should. Ooh, maybe Kirby 64. We also have to do Subnautica Below Zero. You know what's funny? I haven't had a mirror up in my bathroom for like a month now because I did a failed renovation project. So I don't actually see myself except in the OBS preview window at this very specific angle. And because how do you shave? I haven't shaved in a month. Oh no, wait, no, I used Conyers bathroom mirror. Sorry, there, yeah. So I haven't shaved in 2 weeks, sorry. I very rarely shave. You can see that I've got like fluff on my neck, but my beard is well shaped enough that it's not something I need to maintain every day. And neck beard Pepe laugh. Dude, it unironically triggers me when people call me a neck beard. Like, it's on my goddamn jaw. What do you want from me? This is like the platonic ideal beard weight distribution. It's I'm very lucky with the way my beard grows, Some people do naturally kind of have like the neck beard thing, Do you have a picture of you clean shaven? Yeah, not any new ones though. Here, wait. I'm feeling a little out of it. I feel like 4 segments is probably enough for today. But before I finish reading donations and kick all of you out of my house, hold on. Where's the young dog? Okay, this right here. Hold on. got these old pictures. This picture was from when I was 19. You will notice, you'll notice I look quite similar. Um, you look like a douche. I mean, it's the same beard. I just didn't have much of a haircut back then. Yeah, basically the same. I just didn't have glasses. Do a side by side with your biggest beard. I wonder. Hold on. Oh God. Okay, I don't know. I I don't know what was going on with this. There's something about this picture of me that's extremely off. Oh wait, hold. I can't show that. I'm like shirtless. Trying to. Oh God. Like 15 here. Holy shit. You look like you were lifting full time back then. Yeah, I was bigger. Here. I look so weird here. Why are my lips so red? I think I just got out of the shower. That has to be why my face is so flushed. Yeah, a little fucking zoomer beard, you know? I look racist. Oh, thank you. Look like a hipster? I mean, kinda, right? Yeah. Hold on, we're looking through the old content. Oh shit. What is this from 17? Are you guys ready for a never before seen beardless Vosh picture? Yeah, so people are, because people see all like young white guys without a beard and they're like, "Oh my god, they're all the same." Hate all of you. All right. I have no idea when this was. I have to assume this was somewhere between 17 and 19. Okay? There we go. That's the never before seen. I look like a 90s teen. I look like I'm playing it up for the fucking camera is what I look like. Vosh shave. It wasn't the lack of a beard that made me look like that, guys. It was me weighing 180 pounds and being muscular, okay? See, we're a little off from that. Time has separated us from that position. We can get back. Doesn't look like your voice would fit. Well, I didn't sound like that back then. Well, I should work out again. I work out every day. Okay. We can go back as far as me being 15 down here. Oh God. Okay, I think this was when I was 16. Are you guys ready for a goddamn Amish beard that I had when I was 15 for absolutely no reason? Or 16, I think? I have no idea why. But I had this for like 6 months. I think I was just amused by the fact that I could. A lot of classism in the chat right now. SMH. Why is your head so massive? Oh, it's just like that. So much classism in chat. Holy shit. So many old pictures of me here from my old fucking family computer. Gosh, I'm crying. Wait, what? Oh yeah, the this is good. Yeah, we're in a band. Shoe on Head, me, and Caitlin Bennett, all when we were in, I assume, high school. Though Bennett looks older than Shoe and I there. That's you? Goddamn right. I dressed up as an emo for Halloween. Lazy costumes, folks. All right, one more. You'll never beat this. True. Kalinsky outdoing me at every turn. I will never beat this. Wow. Can't show that one. Yikes. What was your band name? I don't know. Is your yearbook profile? No, fuck you. The Poop Shitters. The Poop Shitters. That's our band name, okay? None of these look like the same person. Stay mad. Where are these from? I don't know why I didn't have a haircut back then. I think this is a picture for me at fucking Disneyland. Blurry as shit. More of a goatee look back then. This is the last thing you see before you die. True. All these clothes I used to wear. Jesus Christ. This had to be in a high school. Look at me. I'm doing like a blue steel look. Wear glasses. I had contacts. Look, I'm doing a fucking blue steel face here. Jesus Christ. This fucking high school vlog. I was you still do that? Goddamn right. This is I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be wearing here, okay? Right here. This is a good look for high school though. I looked so much older than everybody else. Who took the pic? I don't know. This is more than a decade ago. I don't fucking remember. I don't talk to any of the friends I had in high school, except for one. Alright, close all these damn pictures. Jesus Christ. You look like a bully? I never bullied anyone. You look like a 20-year-old actor playing a teenager. That's good. Okay, stop. We're wasting time, of which we all have a limited amount before we inevitably die. So, chill. The Magic Socialist, thank you for the very kind $10. Thoughts on the conservative Supreme Court hearing cases... conservative Supreme Court hearing cases challenging Roe v. Wade. It's terrifying for everyone, I think. Mortimer, thank you for the $5. Which platform do you want to use for streaming, YouTube or Twitch? I mean, they both suck in their own ways, right? YouTube has much stricter copyright protections that you need to be nervous about, and the copyright system can fuck you, but also Twitch could just randomly get banned, it seems. Twitch's TOS is also harder to get around. It's a lot more stringent. So I don't know, genuinely. Both platforms suck. Matthew H25, thank you for the $5. How legit are people in the right sphere about bad things that could happen, so they're prepping for shit hits the fan events like EMP, nuclear war, etc.? Never hurts. You own. I'll say this much: if you live in outside of the city and you own a house, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to have like a prepper basement. Maybe you'll never need it. Maybe your kids will. Maybe your grandkids will. Who knows? Honestly, just I don't know. If you have a little bit of spare change, just do a little thing. Ain't nothing. Just a little bit. Yeah. And if you live in the city, die. Oh God, hello. Definitely not a commie with the incredibly kind $100. Please, can you follow up with the PCRF to see how everyone's efforts helped at some point? Here's some money for all your efforts on raising good work. First of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And second of all, yeah, I'd love to. The money hasn't gone through yet. It took me a long time to wrangle with the bank, but the money is finally being wired over. It said 3 to 5 business days, so it might be as late as Wednesday this next week that it actually goes through. It took a while because my bank really didn't trust me suddenly giving $250,000 to someone else. They were a little bit, stringent on that. I have the receipts for it, which I've already sent to Steve Sosaby. So the actual transaction has already been confirmed. It's just a matter of the money going through. Hello? What a fat baby. What a fat baby. You're so soft. Now be long. Ooh. Be free. Nope. Just want to sit here. Very good. Anyway, I already have the receipts, and I have shared them with Steve Sosaby, so everything's confirmed. It's just taking some time to go through. Cuban Coffee with the $32. Thank you. Hey, Vosh, thanks for being my gateway to socialism. I should really donate more. Only if you want to, comrade. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you appreciate my arguments. He's breathing so hard, by the way. Yeah? Ooh. Slug boy. His little head is just crammed into my armpit. All right. Radical Abolitionist, thank you for the very kind tier 1 sub. I'm glad that my content has helped calm and entertain you, comrade. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, God. I have to do this. Oh, one arm. Jeez. He is unbelievably sleepy. He's just not moving. Are you dead? Are you dead? He says no and leave me alone. Iron Falcon 26, thank you for very kind $5. True. Junk Loot. It'd be cool if the mods across your platform just got paid an honorarium for the work. You don't want a mod union, do you? Ha! Yeah, it's all volunteer stuff. The thing I've always wondered is, like, even if I gave, like, a chunk, it would be split amongst so many people that I wonder if it'd even be, like... I feel like if I gave an honorarium, it'd be split among so many people because they're, like, 15 Discord mods, and then there's Twitch mods, site chat mods, and YouTube chat mods. I mean, I guess every bit is nice. Trying to... Look at him! Look at him! He's so sleepy. Probably should do something for the mods, though. I'd like that. They do a lot of good. Tomfoolery with the very kind $5. I wanted to be just like you, so I decided to be a race realist, but I lost, so now I'm a Nazi. Oh, well, that's the risk, isn't it? Ha! Amar Jarala, thank you for the $5. Spinosaurus. Is it bad that I would support a capital riot if it was a bunch of socialists doing it? Well, you're not supposed to say that out loud. No, look, there are different types of like revolutionary action, which are different levels of justification. Okay, saying that oh, the Capitol riot was bad first and foremost because it was an attempt to subvert democracy. What if, for example, like a corporate or fascist America clamped down on democracy and there was a Capitol riot trying to restore democracy? Well, that would be defensible. Because I follow the utilitarian bent, my argument would be that it's not the action, it's the consequences of the action. The consequences of the action of the Capitol riot were an attempt to consolidate power and basically test the waters for the subversion of democracy. Now, if you had some anti-government action that was like super defensible, like the American Civil War, something I think we're all in favor of, farewell, Artemy, then that would be a different story, right? Anime versus hip hop, thank you for the very kind $10. They all blame the insurrection on BLM and Antifa, so why would they be against an investigation? Curious. Makes you wonder. Gabriel Dino Hunter with the incredibly kind $50. Jesus, comrade, thank you. Hey, take my filthy money. The things I did for this 50. Let's just say I won't be getting through those pearly gates. Also, when do we get a hot tub stream? I'll die and go to heaven when we get that. Oh, wait, that's right. The $50. Never mind then. Right, you'll die and go to hell. Sorry, no hot tub streams over here, buddy. Not for a good long while. Maybe we'll do a fun IRL beach stream one day, okay? Thank you. Epic Face Panda and Copeak, thank you for the $5 both. Recommend a book on treason by Carlton Larson. The Capitol Riot is the clearest case of treason in U.S. history. I can give it a look. WikiCat, I had that off for a reason, you know. Well, good thing you're not in here. Not yet, you're not. WikiGet, Ratchet Crank, and Rotazon, thank you for the $5 both. Really appreciate that. Can you address the comment about hoping people would be more open to work with you during charity stream? I think people got the wrong idea. If by people got the wrong idea, you mean Destiny lied about it. The comment that I said was, I hope that my willingness to do charity means that I might make some people who are on the fence about me be more willing to speak with me. And then Destiny misremembered it on stream and said that I had said that I hoped people bigger than me would start to work with me. No, the idea that doing a charity stream could be a community come together moment is a completely uncontroversial idea. Some people just want to be angry at me. Get Stanfield, thank you for the $5. Primary SF, thank you for the $2. Really appreciate that. You know, you're almost at 1,000 channel videos. Damn, that's wild. Okay, hold on. Stay woke, people. Macwing, thank you for the incredibly kind $20. I really, really appreciate that, comrade. Your streams taught me so much about engaging political discourse that I felt confident enough to be the advocacy rep for a queer engineering nonprofit. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. Seriously. That's really, really awesome. I'm glad I can help to give you that confidence. The Queen with the $5. I've not covered that, but I might in the future. Weird Puppy with a very kind tier 1 sub. Thank you very, very much. Yep. Because you like my R8. Have another and a sub. Oh, no.
I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that. Whoa. Didn't think anyone was left.
Why is it?
I'm getting.
I have no idea why it did that with the audio. I'm so sorry.
I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that. Whoa. Didn't think anyone was left. You must be pretty tough, huh? Oh, you're not local? Even better. Mother Miranda's gonna love you. I'm getting ripped.
I have no idea what the broader context of this is, but that was a really good Heisenberg impression. The people weird champing in chat haven't heard Heisenberg talk. That was a really... Yeah, I don't understand what TikTok memes are, but that was a really good Heisenberg impression. I can't do it. The Nick Cage voice. It's too powerful for me. Yeah, it's pretty spot on. Sad Dry Potato, thank you for the very kind $5. Baby! Baby. Baby. I have played Dead Cells. Baby. Camouflage, baby. Stretchy yawn, baby. This is a very good one. Very good line of action. Spice Cowboy Mike, thank you for the very kind tier 2 sub. Much appreciated. And Sake Tanuki with the very kind $10. Your typical leftist debate panel. True. I love this meme with Dumitresque and the headset. E-girl Dumitresque. It's extremely good. Literally Merrick. Oh, God. All right, people, hold on. There's actually a really, really important prior engagement that I need to get to. I'm risking being late as it is. The engagement is that I want to eat tasty food, and I'm going to go do that. Thank you all very much for the lovely stream. I love you all very, very much. As always, your company here is appreciated. And is tomorrow Sunday? I might stream tomorrow. Yeah, I'll host Lumi. Hold on. We'll host Raid Lumi-Eru. Get out there, people. Go, 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 go. Nicely done. All right, see you all later.